Good morning. Welcome in. This update presented by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Aztecs hoops tonight, and it's a big one. The boys are at home welcoming New Mexico to town. Revenge game for the Scarlet and Black here after losing to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pregame coverage beginning at 6. Game time at 7. If you're heading out to Viejas Arena tonight, there's going to be the courtyard activation that's been really cool for a couple of the Friday, Saturday games. And wear black. It is the blackout game tonight. Tickets may still be available at goaztecs.com. I think it was getting pretty close to being sold out. Tiger Woods completed the first round of the Genesis Invitational at 1 over par. Reports are that he was dealing with some back spasms on the course. He is now tied for 49th in the tournament, and he's going to tee off around noon today. Patrick Cantlay in the lead, 7 under par after day 1. Over in Major League Baseball, the 2024 season is creeping closer, and Commissioner Rob Manfred let it be known yesterday he plans to retire in 2029. Can't get here soon enough. Why are people saying hoo-yah to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid on last year's tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
It's been a long week and the fellas are thirsty.
Scotch. Here it goes down into my belly.
It's time to cruise into the weekend. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch present Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by Keg N Bottle, with the best selection of bourbon, whiskey, tequila, private section bottles, and more.
My problem is I drink too much, way too much.
Yeah.
I get my doctor a urine specimen. There was an olive in it.
Now, let's pour some drinks.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as a producer, Fletch really nails it.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
He gets us a full-on hand signal like, you're on.
I thought you were.
It's a Bar Cart Friday. It is. And a happy Friday to all who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. It is a fantastic Friday. I am so looking forward to the 8 o'clock hour. This might be one of those days where we got to crack some beers earlier.
Do we have some?
We probably do in the office.
Yeah, we've got some somewhere.
Not our office.
Right,
We have so much booze in there that it's almost impossible for there not to be a cold beer. In fact, Fletch, why don't you like bloodhound us a couple of brewskis?
Yeah, right. Wait, did you plug in the Coors Light fridge?
Oh my gosh,
What?
I forgot we have the Coors Light fridge.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any Coors Lights in it, though.
Oh, good point.
Oh,
Those do
wow.
get absconded with awfully
know.
quickly.
Yeah.
We just drink them as soon as we get them.
It happens.
It's like water. It's good hydration. Anyways, good morning, everybody out there. Hope you enjoyed your week. Hope you're looking forward to a fun weekend. What do you got? What's all this?
I've never heard of this before. In
What?
Tampa Bay, Florida, there's a place called Beer Can Island. It's a little island that people go to and just party at. They camp.
Oh, I love these types of places.
Okay, so Beer Can Island is for sale for $14 million. We could have this little island all to ourselves.
We need to crowdfund
Right.
our purchase of Beer Can Island.
Look at this place. There's
Okay.
a little harbor.
So have you ever been to like Minnesota or anywhere in the Midwest with a lot of lakes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
they have these little sandbar islands.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what that just reminded me of. You can like swim from shore practically if you have a cooler that'll float, and you can go just party your balls off on these like little islands where people literally they just dock their boats and they just get hammered in about waist deep water.
Wow.
And it's a lake, so you don't have to worry about a shark coming up and attacking you or anything.
I mean, I feel like 14 million.
14 million's it's
a steal.
It's a steal. That is a bargain.
Golly.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
so
we got
Beer
big
Can
plans.
Island. Yeah, we gotta do something to raise some funds here on a Bar Cart Friday. Brought to you by Keg N Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. But you're talking about what kind of fun day it's going to be. We got Rosa Luna coming in.
Rosa Luna, Mezcal. We're going to be drinking Palomas. We're going to be getting very involved. Tony Concha, who's no worse for wear after a relatively severe injury to his forehead, is going to be coming in studio.
Yeah, he's playing basketball wrong.
Yeah. He took an elbow to the face and he got 6 stitches put in. So we wished him the best before we got on air, but he's sending us pictures. He's going to come in bandaged up. Oh my God.
Yeah.
there he
Wait,
is.
what do we got?
Yeah.
What? Well, they're cold.
We're not even sure what these
Wait.
are.
Where
I
did
have-
oh wait, there's just 3 randoms.
We got some randos. Mine's from Electric Brewing Company.
Oh wait, mine's from Wait, the absolute altitude hazy. Were these guys in the studio? I don't remember having this can.
You know what?
2 of them are triple IPAs. I think TD has the hazy IPA.
Okay, all right.
Let's crack them, boys. Happy Bar Car Friday.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully they're still good.
Yeah,
Yeah, tastes good to me, man.
that'll do.
All right, here we go. We're getting it started.
Okay.
Where do you want to kick things off?
Super
Bowl. Where should it be every year?
So yeah, there was a report out. There was a marketing executive named Zev who was running events in Super Bowl, or I should say in Vegas, all week long leading up to Super Bowl 58.
That's
And
good beer.
Is
Yeah,
yours? What was
tasty.
yours one?
I think it's similar to your. Mine is called Lords and Masters.
Okay, The Conjuring of 4 is mine. And there's just throw them on.
Triple IPA with milk sugar.
Nice.
I mean, these guys must have come in. I don't remember this at all. It must have been a hard day.
Tell you what, this hazy IPA, it's matching my my intelligence.
Exactly,
right now.
my memory.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically what he said was, outside of the economic impact that the Super Bowl is going to have on different markets respectively, he doesn't see any reason why it shouldn't be in Vegas every single year. Now, as a marketing executive, he's a CEO of a marketing agency called Enter. I'm sure he made a boatload of cash.
Right.
And it's possible that he's worked other Super Bowls in the past and maybe hasn't made as much money. And so this may be a very biased opinion. But this isn't the first time I've heard this. When the Super Bowl really works in a city, and I do agree, I think the Super Bowl, from all the media that was pouring out the week leading up to kickoff, really does work in Vegas. You always hear this, though. Why should they do it anywhere else? This was perfect.
Mhm.
But I've heard that about New Orleans. I've heard that about Tampa. I can't remember which Super Bowl it was, but it was in the early 2000s.
Los Angeles SoFi was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people said, though, like the Super Bowl kind of gotten eaten up by LA because it's such a big market. And a lot of people said that actually about the New York Super Bowl. It hasn't been back since.
My favorite that I'd been to was Atlanta. I thought they did such an incredible job. They have the Olympic Square that's right next to where Media Row was. It was, oh my God, they laid out all the
It's funny. So 97, I think it was, went to Atlanta, cruising downtown, and I'm like, what are these weird facades that are on every building? The 96 Olympics were in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And as they ran the torch down the streets of Atlanta, they didn't want it to look bad. So they built basically Hollywood sets and put then props up along the buildings. And I mean, it was like weird, like little fake flower boxes. It was very bizarre.
Okay, so yeah,
but I think that makes the point, right? There's awesome things in every NFL city, and the cities pour so much money into making the Super Bowl experience incredible for fans and media members who are coming in from all over the world because they want their city to look even better because they use it to generate tourism and ad dollars. And so I think it needs to stay on a rotation. However, you can whittle the rotation down a little bit.
Well, and see, that is what this guy's saying is, well, I don't see from just a standpoint of production and doing the whole thing why it should move from city to city. The point you made is exactly why. Well, and also these NFL owners completely aware of what it does for them. You know, how many more people are coming through your shops and buying stuff from your city? Most of these guys, they own businesses in the city that they also own the team. Robert Kraft, when I was playing for the Patriots, guess where I ate a lot of dinners? After games, my family before games, Patriot Place, which, by the way, he didn't have to share any profits with the league. He owned this giant outdoor strip mall that had high-class restaurants, chain restaurants, shopping. It was a mall. He owned a mall with a movie theater, one of those ones with the you can lay back all the way in the seat. Like, all of that was his to profit from. And it's like, well, if the Super Bowl ever came to Massachusetts, he would profit greatly from it. So all these owners want him in their cities.
Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously the NFL and, well, the Super Bowl, they don't want it in the cold cities because they want to make sure that everybody's happy when they're there for a week or two leading up to the Super Bowl. So the one in New York was an anomaly. That was like the first cold city outdoor Super Bowl, I think, right?
It was the only one in recent memory they've done in an outdoor cold city venue. Minnesota was a recent one after they built the new stadium, US Bank.
But weren't they in the dome at that one?
But it's indoor.
Yeah,
indoor.
and the whole Radio Row for that was in the Mall of America or whatever.
Yeah. That's right.
Which was very cool. And by the way, like, hang on, I'm flipping over my camera.
Every day.
Every single day. By the way, like going from city to city, very cool. But there are some duds. Like, I'll be perfectly honest with you. The Super Bowl that I was in with the Patriots against the Giants in Indianapolis, not a great Super Bowl city.
Really?
Not a great Super Bowl city.
Well, I've heard nothing but awesome things about Indy, but not from people who've gone for the Super Bowl. But as of the downtown area, it's supposed to be awesome.
But what made it not great? Was it the surroundings, like the things that were in close proximity to the stadium?
There's not enough going on.
Right.
Now, for as far as like the NFL Combine, people rave about it.
Right.
Because like
the steakhouse is supposed to be the best in the world.
And I went there, St. Elmo's. It's incredible. But the reality of the situation is you need a city. It's weird. It has to be the perfect size. Like Vegas is kind of the perfect size. There's enough to do and it'll take over the city for a week. Everybody will be super glad it was there and then it's gone. Same thing with Arizona. Arizona, awesome Super Bowl site. By the way, San Diego.
I was just going to say that.
So when the Super Bowl came to San Diego, everybody said the same thing. Why isn't the Super Bowl in San Diego every single year?
Fantastic weather, tons to do. You got ocean views from the cameras if they want to look out over the. I mean, it's a beautiful location. It is a bummer that there is not a Super Bowl here every single year.
That was my biggest issue with LA. Like in Atlanta, I think part of the reason I liked it so much because you could get to every single thing they were doing, and it was all right there within a 6-7 block radius. In LA, we would have had to drive 45 minutes to get to where the players were doing the media day with all the media. And then we'd have to go another 45 minutes to get to where Radio Row was. Our hotels were all spread out. Like it just it was inconvenient.
That is the bummer with SoFi, man. The complex where it's at, the whole NFL network, the NFL corporate offices, all right there. If you are standing at SoFi, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You are 1 block away from SoFi. It's a little rough.
Inglewood, California has its bright spots, but if you've ever been in LA, you know Inglewood, it has plenty of places that you cannot go after certain times of night. Look, here's the reality of the situation, and I agree with everything you said. Like LA, it would appear to be a perfect city because it has all of the things that San Diego has. It's just a bigger city. And obviously it has some of the negatives of a bigger city. It has urban sprawl. You got to go a long distance from place to place, more traffic, but you would assume it would be perfect for the Super Bowl. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not as good as San Diego was. Vegas, you would say, well, Vegas, it's so corporate, it's casinos, it's this, guys will get in trouble, but they didn't. And it worked. Like you don't know until you do it. The only reason why I would say I wouldn't want it to stay and remain in one city is because there may be like an untapped place recently that the Super Bowl could come to. And then you'll say, well, why shouldn't it be here every year? And if there's any chance of the Super Bowl somehow returning to the city of San Diego, I would never want it locked into one place.
That's very true.
With the opportunity of it coming back.
Very true. By the way, the Kansas City Chiefs have won more playoff games in Vegas than the Raiders have.
Oh my gosh, that is not good.
One.
Yeah, one.
That's you don't want that. You
Well,
don't.
that logic, the 49ers have lost more playoff games in Las Vegas than the Raiders have.
Also very true.
Very true.
All right. I just, when you look at Vegas, though, as a Super Bowl site, the Radio Row, all the media leading up to it, you have so many options to make it very, very special and look very, very cool. So I do see the merit in it being there every year, but it would be a bummer for city to city. They don't even got a shot at this thing because there's a lot of cash that rolls into town.
No question about it. Coming up, we got tickets to Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're playing San Diego. We have a pair of tickets for you to win. We also have a pair of tickets to Aztecs taking on New Mexico tomorrow. Go Aztecs.com for more tickets and info there. We're going to be talking about how being humbled sometimes can be the best way to perform better. But first, this.
Richie, you just talked about it. Aztecs hoops tonight. It's a big one. The boys are at home welcoming New Mexico to town. Revenge game for the Scarlet and Black after losing to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pregame tonight gets started at 6 with John Schaefer and myself outside Viejas Arena. Game time is at 7. If you're heading out to Viejas tonight, wear black. It's the blackout game, and that sounds like a challenge to me. I don't know about you guys. Tiger Woods completing the first round of the Genesis Invitational, 1 over par, tied for 49th. Reports are that he was dealing with some back spasms on the course. Patrick Cantlay, also TD's high school nickname, is in the lead at 7 under par after day 1. Major League Baseball, 2029. Everyone get excited. In 2029, Rob Manfred is gone from this league and in the NBA.
Going back to Judas Priest.
For the first time since his rookie season, which was the NBA lockout year, Klay Thompson was on the bench to start a game for the Golden State Warriors.
Unreal.
And boy, did he respond. 35 points, get the win for the Dubs. Really cool to see that. And I think that's what we're talking about right here.
Man, oh man. NFL legend, NFL veteran, Klay Thompson. Oh, that's Harbor. Sorry.
Clay Harbor, which, by the way, sounds like it should have been like one of the sites in the Pacific Theater of World War II.
Yeah, Clay Harbor.
The Battle of Clay Harbor.
That's correct.
Let us not forget the bravery that was exuded on the beaches of Clay Harbor. What did he say?
Clay Harbor?
Mhm.
Well, so this is a headline that pops up from Fox Sports. Former NFL veteran says Bears should trade away #1 pick and stick with Justin Fields at quarterback. And I was like, oh, who's the veteran? Clay Harbor.
Yeah.
Feeling is the Bears are going to draft a quarterback, but they shouldn't.
Dude, I guarantee this happens to me all the time. What I mean is like somebody like waking up in Appleton, Wisconsin is going, former NFL offensive lineman says that Brock Purdy isn't a game manager. He's actually very good, but he's struggled in the playoffs. Who is this? Rich Ornberger. Who the hell is Rich Ornberger? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of us talking these days. I bet you Clay Harbor's got an awesome podcast.
Yeah. You're right.
We're all idiots.
Several thousand Instagram followers.
Yeah. We're all squirrels looking for an acorn somewhere near the oak tree. Speaking of which, Clay has not, Thompson, not Harbor, has not found many acorns lately. He's really struggled this season. If you've been watching the NBA, if you've been watching Warriors games, he's lost his stroke kind of. It's very strange to watch somebody, a golfer with the yips, a pitcher who's kind of lost his way. So it happens to some of like the greatest athletes. All of a sudden they just can't perform and there's no explanation and nobody can help them. It is the loneliest feeling in sport when coaching isn't working, where extra practice isn't working, extra rest isn't working. You don't know what to do. And Klay Thompson is kind of in that tunnel right now. And so to see him get benched and then to see him come off the bench and just absolutely open up a can of whoop ass with a season high 35 points is it's incredible because I think a lot of people root for a Klay Thompson. I know there's a lot of people who don't because he's on the Golden State Warriors and the Golden State Warriors because of the dynasty stuff. They've become a little hateable and nobody likes Draymond Green and he's teammate of Klay Thompson's and blah, 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 blah. But you never want to see a really talented guy really start to fade and really have no good excuse for it. It's not injury related. It's not because he's a party animal. It's not because he isn't trying. He just all of a sudden stunk and it's been hard to watch.
Mm-hmm. Then that's why you root for the guy. Though.
Yeah.
That's why you root for athletes like that, because it's not like it's a self-destruction. It's just maybe father time catching up, something that we all relate to at some point in our lives where you're not as good as you once were, but guess what? You're as good once as you ever were. And I mean, it's cool, man. Klay Thompson, go out there and ball.
That's Toby Keith lyrics.
That's what I'm
RIP,
saying.
my guy.
Yeah. Toby Keith, by the way, Morgan Wallen would have broken a record of consecutive weeks in the top 10 in the Billboard 200. Toby Keith died. He had like 9 of the top slots. Yeah. So
he ain't
Toby
as good
Keith.
as he once was. But he's as good once as he ever was. The Klay Thompson thing, it reminded me actually of something that happened this year with San Diego State. You guys remember a few weeks ago, 2 guys got benched who were starting every game in Micah Parrish and Elijah Saunders. And going into the game, John and I were talking about when we saw the starting lineup, we're like, well, what does that mean for these guys?
Right.
Like, how are they going to perform mentally with this after starting every game so far this season? Then you go to the bench and they both came out and had stellar games. I think it's really inspiring and it's really cool to see when somebody gets humbled a little bit, how they respond. And you can learn a lot about the person in those moments. And I think we learned a lot about Klay Thompson last night, just like we learned a lot about Micah Parrish and Elijah Saunders earlier this year with the Aztecs. It's really cool to see when somebody gets knocked down a peg and they step back up and perform even better than anyone was expecting. I think it shows a lot about the fortitude of a human being when you see something like that.
Yeah, for the first time since 2012,
his rookie year,
his rookie season, he spent the opening tip off on the bench. He comes off the bench, he scores 35 in a Warriors 140-137 win over the Utah Jazz. And look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been a bad season for Klay Thompson. Like we're not talking about some six man. We're talking about Klay friggin' Thompson. He's averaging 17 points, but he's shooting 41% from the field and 37% from field 3-point range, which is still pretty good for. Look, I mean, again, if this was
normal humans, it's fine.
Yeah, well, and also
Klay Thompson's not a normal human.
Yeah, it's like for an NBA player, like you would take like a 17-point shooter who's hitting close to 40% from three. You would sign him to your team. Like you're pretty cool with that. But he's an unstoppable force, especially when he's having a hot night. This is the type of guy who can take over games, and we've seen it so many times. We've seen it in playoffs. We've seen it in Western Conference. We've seen it in NBA finals. Like this guy is sensational. So again, the fall from grace has been extremely steep and sudden because normally, like you said, age catches up to us all. It's an father time's undefeated, blah, blah, blah. We know it's coming for everybody, but usually there's some warning signs. Like you start, there's a couple of chips in the armor. You're like, oh yeah, he's okay. Well, he's not going to start. He's probably going to miss like 20 games, 25 games every season. Okay, we get it. The knees are getting a little old, but it's usually not all of a sudden just like he goes from being a guy who averages close, 25 points or 28 points to 10 points less in the very next season.
Right. No, absolutely. Which is why, I hope to see some of these games strung together. I hope I get to see this resurgence. And I don't know, maybe Klay Thompson goes and has a fantastic remainder of the season and says, I'm going to ride off into the sunset.
Tell you what, TD hasn't lost a step. We're going to get to that in a second. Coming up next, by the way, NFL quarterback asked to be cut from his team. That is a real story. We'll give you the scoop on the other side. But you know what, Travis? One thing that I appreciate about you recently is you used to be a guy who's like talking about scoops. You used to be a guy who's like a thrifty.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 scoops.
I mean, 4 scoops isn't even on the menu, but I'd be like, look, do you know who I am? do you see how much fuel I need for this massive body?
Sir, this is a Rite Aid.
Yeah.
Please lower your voice. I will not lower my voice. I demand a larger scoop.
That's right.
But not anymore.
Not anymore. No, not anymore. Because the coaches and staff over at SD Fat Loss, they showed me the correct way to eat. And they were like, yeah, so the correct way is not 4 scoops. It's fine. But what's great is I lost 30 pounds in 8 weeks. In fact, we all lost over 30 pounds in 8 weeks with SD Fat Loss. However, now we're maintaining. We're not gaining the weight back, and I can have a scoop once in a while. And it's and life is good, and they can do the same for you. They're going to show you the correct way to eat, the proper way to eat, the healthy way to eat, and then how to keep the weight off. Because here's the thing. These fad diets, they're very, very popular. You're hearing them all over the place. You see them on the news. All kinds of side effects from the fad diets, these prescription medication diets that have all kinds of side effects. You don't want that. The other thing you don't want is you don't want a yo-yo diet, because you'll do one of these fad diets, you'll lose weight, you'll drop some pounds. You may drop the pounds fast, and then as soon as you stop the fad diet, you're going to gain that weight right back.
Right back.
That's yo-yo. That's the sound it makes.
That's the sound. It always makes that sound.
And you don't want that. You don't want that, because you'll gain it back. You'll gain more weight back. Let Wayne and Chloe show the correct way to do this. So sdfatloss.com. Go there right now. No exercise, no counting points, no counting calories. All the things that we rattle off every single day. It's true. It works. sdfatloss.com. You got nothing to lose except them unwanted pounds. sdfatloss.com. So a quarterback asked to be fired. We'll explain next.
This update is presented by the Jim Betrell Real Estate Team. Aztecs hoops tonight against New Mexico. A little bit of a revenge game for the boys after losing to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pre-game coverage begins at 6 tonight. Game time at 7. If you're heading out to Viejas Arena tonight, wear black and get there early for the courtyard activation. We'll be out there, as well as a bunch of different food tents and pop-ups and some really good pizza. Tiger Woods completing the first round of the Genesis Invitational yesterday at 1 over par. Reports are that he was dealing with some back spasms on the course. He's tied for 49th. He's going to tee off around noon today. Patrick Cantlay in the lead at 7 under par after day 1. Major League Baseball 2029 will be the retirement date for Commissioner Rob Manfred. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Betrell has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
San Diego Sports 760. What is this one called, Fletch?
Fedora Frenzy.
Dude,
I mean,
another one that we're going to need you to heart or favorite or star.
it's a good one.
When we throw our swing dance party, our 1930s swing dance party, which we're planning this year in spring.
It's going to be live on the air, so it's going to be only royalty-free music we're dancing to.
I have so much swing music.
Good.
It's fantastic.
We got Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire tickets we'll be giving away as well later today. They're going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater August 31st. Tickets and info, livenation.com, or just keep it locked in here to win those. Also, a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs take on New Mexico tonight tonight, Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip-off. Pre-game starts at 6 here. Tickets at goaztecs.com.
So we
Blackout game, wear black.
yeah.
Also sounds like a challenge.
So, well, it does. Super important that you do that because there is nothing cooler. And I remember Penn State started the whiteout craze that has started, or blackout or red out. Like Happy Valley 2005, I'm pretty sure was the first time we ever did it there. Everybody showed up in white for a night game against Ohio State. And it was the craziest environment I've ever seen in my life. And then it's just been top time and time again. There's nothing like coming out to your home court and seeing everybody get the memo. You know what I mean? Like the whole stadium wearing black shirts and cheering you on. I mean, so if you're going to see the game at Viejas, wear black for sure. Okay, and we're going to send a pair of people, or I should say, we're going to send a listener with a friend out to that game. All right. A quarterback asked his team to cut him. I don't know if I've ever heard anything true that was like this. We came close to hearing something like this with Zach Wilson and the New York Jets this season, where he basically said, I don't want to start anymore. That was the report from Diana Rossini with The Athletic.
It's scary out there.
I don't like getting hit, and that's all I seem to be getting as a quarterback here in New York. So outside of that, I remember saying this is the first I would have heard of this. So this is an interesting situation. A.J. McCarron, who's a former Alabama quarterback, has bounced around the league for a very long time. He's 33 years old. He asked the Bengals to release him. He said, I no longer want to play in the NFL. And reportedly, he's going to be playing for the St. Louis Battlehawks of the UFL in this upcoming season.
What?
Thank you.
What?
That's my team.
That's your team, the Battlehawks?
Yeah.
Well,
Were there like 8 teams?
I don't know.
I think there are.
Yeah.
So the XFL and USFL, for those who haven't been keeping up with this, we'll catch you up. They've merged now. So there were 2 professional spring leagues last season. Both of them had their inaugural season, the USFL and the XFL part 3, I think. And they've merged. And now it's the UFL, the United Football League. I believe there's 8 teams. A.J. McCarron most likely going to be the starting quarterback with the St. Louis Battlehawks. My guess is the plan is if he can absolutely light it up in the UFL, then a team is going to see him. They're going to feel the need to bring him on board, have him be their starting quarterback, and so he can sort of restart his NFL career one last shot at it.
Bit of a gamble. However, you got to think that the XFL, UFL is loving this, because if this works, you might see a trend of that.
Well, so here's the interesting thing. I don't know how good A.J. McCarron is. I mean, I honestly don't. We've barely seen him play football. But is he going to be better than the majority of players in the UFL? My guess is yeah. The question is, will he have the receivers to help him? Will he have an offensive line to help him? Will this be a complete, crash and burn for A.J. McCarron? We don't know the answer to that question. The one thing I will say is, to your point, if this actually becomes a setup feeder league, much like college football, or if it even starts to compete a little bit with college football, where players see an opportunity to go to the UFL, still make a decent amount of money in endorsements, riding off of whatever fame they have from college football, and then take the next step into the NFL, that's what the UFL would want. They would want to become the minor league system for professional football, and for the NFL.
I don't think they'd mind it either if they became sort of the system to pick up some of the players on the decline.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, when RG3 is looking for a job, and RG3 is now out there throwing a football, getting paid to do it.
Cam Newton.
I mean,
still wants to play. He said he still wants to play.
Big name.
Colin Kaepernick.
Would they actually do it, though, is the question. Because I think Colin Kaepernick was offered a crap ton of money from one of these leagues at one point to come play quarterback, and he said no. Now, with A.J. McCarron, Rich, I like the way you put it out there. Like, if he can work his way back to be a starter, but I'm thinking best case scenario is he works his way back to being a backup in the NFL.
Here's the thing. Right now, he's backing up Joe Burrow.
And Jake Browning.
Thank you. So he's a third string quarterback in the NFL. This guy is a complete afterthought when it comes to scouts, or I should say pro personnel directors in the NFL, the guys who are really evaluating roster depth around the league and talking about free agent signings they could make, guys who are currently in the league. Well, what happens when you have an A.J. McCarron who thinks he's better than he's being respected at his level in the NFL? If he does go down to the UFL and balls, like if he plays great football, I mean, he could end up being in one of those situations like a Baker Mayfield, for example.
Yeah, and
where
PJ
he's
Walker had success doing this with the AAF. He lit it up, and he was able to get on and be backup, and then ended up starting a few games in different places, most recently with the Browns. Josh Johnson did the same thing. Yeah, he was the backup quarterback in the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship a year ago. So, like, there is a path for this. I don't see A.J. McCarron being able to get a starting job out of this if that's his goal.
Well, again, it would be a situation where if he really, really has a great spring year in the UFL, the best I could see for him is being like in a Baker Mayfield situation where he's a bridge quarterback, where they're thinking in Tampa Bay, they were thinking, we're going to sign Baker for $1 million. Kyle Trask is our guy. We drafted him in the second round. We'll give him a little, camp competition. And worst case scenario, we'll still start Baker Mayfield, who has a name in the league. He was a first overall pick. It's not the worst thing in the world. Well, what ended up happening is Baker ended up being pretty good. And so he had this season, he took Tampa Bay to the playoffs and then won a game against Philadelphia Eagles, an NFC champion or a Super Bowl contender last year. So you look at A.J. McCarron. This is bad news for his career, that he has to do this, that he has to kind of stoop down to try to, get back up. This is the best news for the UFL.
Does this get any additional eyeballs to the UFL?
I think it's smart. Yeah, well, maybe Alabama fans,
right?
Like those Crimson Tide fans who are like crazy into Tide football. Maybe some of them will be like, yeah, I wonder how AJ does out there.
Yeah, but it's also going to grab some headlines right now, just like we're talking about it. So, I mean, even if it piques just a tiny bit of interest for someone to click over and see what it is, maybe it does help them in a big way. But Fletch, I think your choice of the St. Louis Battlehawks, like one of the worst names out of the 8 teams.
Oh, I like the name.
I mean, check it out, though. You got the Birmingham Stallions.
I can't nay. Okay. Maybe one of you can.
Oh, maybe he should have put there at Birmingham.
Houston Roughnecks.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
They don't even have a sound effect.
The oil rig workers.
God, that's good.
Yeah.
How about the Memphis Showboats?
Okay.
No, let's see the no sound effect.
Michigan Panthers. I mean, it's already been used. Yeah. Arlington Renegades. Okay. All right. You got the DC Defenders.
Decent.
Okay. I like this one right here. The San Antonio Brahmas. Brahma Bulls?
Yeah, Brahma Bulls. I think that's cool.
And then you got the Battlehawks.
So he who loves Hawks and feeds Hawks $25 tri-tips on a regular basis. You think that's a lame name?
No, I don't think it's a lame name. I'm just saying Roughnecks, Showboats, Renegades. Those are all cooler names.
Yeah, the Battlehawks. And also, I don't know. But then again, I start thinking about like putting a hawk in like a suit of armor and sending it into battle
with razor sharp talons, just gouging people's eyeballs
lasers.
Maybe lasers.
Fireable missiles, like a GI Joe,
or just like it's a bombardier, like it's just locking in on its sights, and it's just
that'd be cool. I'm down with that.
We're going to be interviewing the assistant offensive line coach for the Los Angeles Chargers, Nick Hardwick, on the show today. Hardwick,
how about that?
Joining the program.
How about that?
So that's going to be in the 7 o'clock hour. Keep it right here up until then, because you have an opportunity to win Chicago tickets. They're going to be playing with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Also, a pair of Aztecs tickets to see the men's basketball team, and so a lot of fun to be had still in this show. Okay, on paper, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. On paper,
right?
But is there an argument to be made for some others? On paper, he's the best. But is there room in the argument for others? We'll be talking about that coming up next. But first, TD, how did you get to work today?
I got to work in the best damn truck on planet Earth. Yeah, on my GMC. And look, it's not just on paper. It is the real deal, Holyfield.
Oh, you darn right.
My GMC from North County Cadillac GMC. And look, actually, I had a neighbor come over and he was telling me about a story. He was trying to find a new car. He was out at a dealership. He was there for 6 hours. He left the dealership with no car because they couldn't make a deal. And I'm like, well, dude, what are you doing? Half a day or more trying to buy a car that you don't get a deal on? Stop messing around. You need to go talk to my buddy, Jamie, the general manager at North County Cadillac GMC. If you're even considering a new vehicle, head down there and chat with him, because they're offering President's Day savings all month long on new and pre-owned models. But don't just take it from me. Review after review after review of North County Cadillac GMC, like this one right here. Anthony, Gave me absolute top-notch service. No nonsense deals. So happy with my purchase. Wish I could give it 10 stars. Yeah, I know. I get it, Anthony. I get it. I would give them 12 if I could. Keep cranking that dial up. How about this one? Great low-pressure dealership that didn't try to oversell me. Brian from sales listened to my needs and sold me a nicely equipped GMC Sierra SLT with all the stuff I needed and nothing I didn't, and at an amazing price thanks to a big dealer discount and tons of rebates. Highly recommend from a sales perspective. That's from Nate. And look, when you go get your GMC Sierra SLT, I'm telling you, it's got all the stuff you want on it and more. It's a beautiful truck. I wouldn't want to drive anything else. I've had 3 GMCs and I'm not ever going back, but there's a reason why North County Cadillac GMC was voted San Diego's best domestic auto dealer in the San Diego Union Tribune Readers Poll. Go experience the difference for yourself. Stop by North County Cadillac GMC in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall today. North County Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every time.
Coming up next, on paper, he is the best quarterback in the NFL. So are we going to have an argument about this, or are we just all going to submit to the fact that he's the best? He's the best. All right, that's next. and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Nick Hardwick, the newly assigned assistant offensive line coach for the Chargers. Really looking forward to catching up with him. I was texting with him yesterday. He's super pumped about the new gig with the Chargers. He's looking to bring that San Diego toughness and grittiness back to the offensive line for the Chargers. So really, really looking forward to that. So keep it right here. If you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, keep doing that.
That's also going to be live streamed on YouTube. Nick is going to be joining by video. So if you want to jump over at 7 a.m., it'd be a good time to do so.
Yep. YouTube, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Also all of our social medias. We will be pumping out some clips, and the podcast goes up later. So Big Rich, TD, Fletch is where you can find us on social media, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram. And then, of course, on the free iHeartRadio app, we put our podcast up within an hour after our show ends. So if you miss anything, including the Nick Hardwick interview, you can listen to it there. RG3 is an interesting guy. So Robert Griffin
He's a
III,
genius. He is a GD genius.
Just ask him.
Heisman winner, Baylor football superstar, went to the NFL, had a breakout rookie year, and then got injured, and it never really was the same. And, you know, he was beefing earlier this year with Jay Gruden, his old coach in Washington. It really does seem like there are times where I listen to RG3 or I hear or I watch his clips and I go, oh, wow, this guy, like he knows exactly what he's talking about.
Mhm.
Like this is a brilliant take.
Right.
And then there are times where I listen to what he's saying and I was like, wow, I couldn't disagree more. In fact, I think he's just trying to get people to click on his podcast or argue with him online. And I'm not sure where this one's landing for me. So I want to read it to you guys and get your reaction. He said on his podcast, quote, people are very slow to accept the fact that he was the best quarterback in the NFL this year. And that's just by the numbers. Talking about Brock Purdy, Griffin went on to say, you're talking about first in QBR, first in passer rating, first in touchdown percentage, first in EPA per play. The list goes on and on about what Brock Purdy was able to accomplish, and it wasn't just the scheme.
The truth will set you free.
So this is what he said. I'm going to reread this line.
Yeah.
People are very slow to accept the fact that he was the best quarterback in the NFL this year. I'm going to just very quickly interject before I ask you guys your opinion on what RG3 said.
Okay.
I'm gonna remind everybody. So Brock lost to a 3-time Super Bowl MVP who's only been a starting quarterback for 6 years. I'm just going to interject that. And then TD, what are your thoughts on what RG3 just said there?
I think this is clickbait. There's no way. I mean, do you really believe this? You honestly believe you're going to build a team, and right now you're going to go through the list of quarterbacks in the NFL, and Brock Purdy's your number one pick for quarterback? Not on my list. In fact, I don't know if he's 5 on my list. Now, I think he did a fantastic job. Hats off to Brock Purdy. I've said it multiple times. And look, I have been one of the people who have been slow to accept the fact that Brock Purdy's good because it just seems so improbable. But he's good. He's good. He makes it happen. But put Brock Purdy on any other team and you tell me those numbers stand up. You tell me those numbers hold up. But if I'm picking a team right now, how do you not pick Patrick Mahomes? How do you look over a Josh Allen? How do you look over a Lamar Jackson? Tua, you can make arguments for. Joe Burrow, healthy Joe Burrow, you're making arguments for. So, come on.
Yeah, no, RG3 is smoking crack right now.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that confirmed? Do you know for sure?
It's just a ridiculous take
Put
to
that
say.
headline out. I want people to follow our podcast.
It's absolutely clickbait. I just look, TD, everything you said is right. It'd be tough to draft a team today and put him in the top 10 even. I don't know if I would. Like, there's just so many talented quarterbacks around this league. A large part of why he led the NFL and all these numbers is because he's a really good quarterback and he had a really good season. A large part of it is because Kyle Shanahan's a pretty stinking good coach in the regular season, and every player around Brock Purdy is pretty stinking good. RG3 is saying everything you said is true in that he did have the best numbers in the league this year. He did have a legitimate case for the MVP. But if you're going best quarterback in the league, think about what the other quarterbacks had to overcome. Even CJ Stroud, his rookie season, I would argue, is more impressive than Brock Purdy this year.
I'm so impressed that you you took the route of rational Ben Fletcher instead of
It's after the Super Bowl. I'm
San
good.
Francisco 49ers, like a huge fan Ben Fletcher, because everything you said is spot on, dude. Like, look, Brock Purdy is a very, very talented young quarterback in this league who still has a lot to learn and benefited greatly from the scheme he plays in. That doesn't mean that Brock Purdy is a bad quarterback. Mm-hmm. It also, we can't ascertain that he's the best or even great from what we've seen so far. What we know is he's capable. In moments, he can be great. And he's made some amazing plays throughout this 2024 season. So I'm a Brock Purdy fan.
He's on his way. I think that's
way.
the best thing you could say about him right now. He's not there yet.
Right now, today, you get a quarterback for 1 year. 1 year.
Me?
No, I'm just saying, like, you're building a team, you get 1 year. You have two choices. Aaron Rodgers or Brock Purdy.
Aaron Rodgers.
You're picking Aaron Rodgers.
Here's the deal. Look, you remove all context when you just look at stats.
By the way, you're picking Tom Brady, who's been retired for a couple years now, or Brock Purdy. I'm taking Tom Brady.
You're taking Tom Brady. Right. Like if you're gonna go get surgery from some guy who has a spotless record, nobody's ever died on his operating table. The only problem is he's a complete drunk. Or you're going to go with the guy who went to Harvard Medical School, who had one person die on his surgery table, but it was years ago, and it was because the guy had congestive heart failure. You're going with the guy who's not the drunk.
Right.
Like, I understand stats.
You call Brock Purdy a drunk?
No, I'm just saying.
We are.
Stats
Brock Purdy, alcoholic. RG3,
headline.
cokehead.
What did you say? Yeah, he's smoking crack. All right, coming up
you
next.
know what he's doing there. RG3 is just doing what you guys do to me every day, but the opposite.
Yeah. He's baiting everybody.
Yeah, and it works on people like me. So there you go. RG3, congrats.
Nick Hardwick joining us, assistant offensive line coach for the Chargers. Keep it right here. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760.
It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Aztecs hoops tonight, and it's a big one. The boys are at home welcoming New Mexico to town. It's a revenge game for the Scarlet and Black. They lost to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pre-game coverage tonight gets going at 6. Game time at 7. If you're heading out to Viejas Arena, wear black tonight for the blackout game. Tiger Woods completing his first round at the Genesis Invitational yesterday at 1 over par. Reports are he was dealing with some back spasms on the course. He's tied for 49th. He's going to tee off around noon today. Patrick Cantlay in the lead at 7 under after day 1. Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred announces he will be retiring at the end of the 2029 baseball season. Can't get here soon enough. Why are people saying "hoo-yah" to Jackson Hewitt? Well, when you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Cheap here. When I'm in San Diego, I'm always hanging out at San Diego Sports 760. With who? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Whammy!
Happy Friday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. We got a Bar Cart Friday coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to be joined by Rosa Luna Mezcal. Really interested in having a couple of Palomas.
Great Instagram follow, by the way.
Yeah, as it turns out, we went to their IG page, and they did not disappoint.
No, was that Brandon?
I hope so.
We're hoping it's Brandon.
Brandon from Rosa Luna is going to be joining us in studio, and if he looks like his picture, we're going to have a lot of fun having Brandon in studio. We're also going to be having a lot of fun here speaking with a great friend of this station, of this show, of mine. So I'm going to give a little backstory here. When I first moved to San Diego, I knew nobody here. Like everybody who comes to a new place, a new school, a new workplace, whatever it may be, and who people are and who they're going to be in your life based on sometimes first interactions. The first person who I met when I signed with the Chargers, the very first person was Nick Hardwick. He shook my hand, looked me in the eyes. He was excited to meet me. He introduced himself to me. I knew who he was. I've been watching him play for years before I entered the NFL. I've been watching and admiring him from afar as a player in the NFL, learning from the game film that I watched with him and Chris Dielman and Mike Goff, the middle three on some of those incredible Chargers teams, and really enjoyed that experience. And then getting to meet him. They say don't meet your heroes, don't meet people who you look up to and admire. In this case, you couldn't be any more wrong. An incredible human being, a wonderful football player, a competitor, and one of truly my favorite people to talk to. And I'm so glad we get to talk to him today. Nick Hardwick joining Big Rich, TD, and Fletch this morning. The newly named assistant offensive line coach with the LA Chargers. Nick, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Rich, I'm awesome. Fletch, great to see you. TD, awesome to meet you. Rich, my goodness, man. Thank you for that introduction. I'm at a very vulnerable, emotional time right now, and I was getting a little sappy. Of course, 42 years old, you just start to get a little bit more emotional, and you're talking about, it was very touching. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the heck out of you.
No, I appreciate that out of you, and thank you very much. I know I mentioned this to you in a text after you got the job, and we were doing all the congratulating, but truly over the course of my career, you bump into people, coaches and players who you can learn things from. I never learned more from any person about defensive recognition or blitz awareness, or we're getting into the weeds with offensive line talk, but some of the things that are so important to developing as an offensive lineman in the NFL and having a career that could extend. Now, injury kind of cut things short for me, unfortunately. But watching you, how you prepared, and then asking you questions, and then having somebody who could teach me things, because there's a lot of people who can do, but they can't teach. Nick, you're one of the guys who can do both. And that's the reason why I think this is such an incredibly, maybe long awaited moment for you, because you were a coach. You maybe didn't even realize it, but while you were playing, you were coaching players around you. Did you have an awareness of that, or is this something that maybe you've come to post-career realizing, oh, no. Yeah, this is something I can do?
I guess it's taken me a long time to realize, but deep down, I think that's what I am as a coach. And whether it's coaching people to get healthy or coaching third grade, fourth grade, fifth and sixth grade football, high school football, all I do all day is coach. I even yesterday was in the weight room helping 140 fifth through eighth grade kids go through what we call rock school here, and just to be a part of their lives for the off-season programs. And that's what I love to do, is coach and share information and just be around people and pick up their energy and give them some back. And I had a post yesterday, it was my last time with my high school boys that I've spent the last several years with. And I guess what I said was, I hope that I gave them more than they gave me, because I got a tremendous amount. And just being on a team, there's nothing better than you guys have a team there. Being a part of a team, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. Love these guys here as well. But Nick, a coach now with the LA Chargers, coaching with Jim Harbaugh. What's the interview process like with Jim Harbaugh?
I think my interview process was a little bit different maybe than everybody else. And so I'm fortunate that I did have the history with the organization to be able to get in the way that I got in. So I just kind of offered, I know there was going to be some changes coming, and it was even before Harbaugh was announced the head coach, or Ortiz was announced as the general manager. And I just said, hey, I know an assistant offensive line coach is potentially going to become available. I'd like to throw my name in the hat if that's a possibility. And it was met with a pretty good reception. And several weeks later, I was contacted by the general manager, and Monday night I was contacted by Coach Harbaugh. And I'm not a person to get nervous or kind of starstruck or anything like that. But to be honest, when I saw his name pop up on my phone, it was like draft day all over again. And I knew it was a possibility, but I was just hopeful, and, I was ready for disappointment. And he called and offered the position, and I got really cold and started shaking almost. It was like I felt so nervous, but it was almost like you're ready for a game. The adrenaline started going. I was super excited, but I also knew that on the other side of saying yes, we as a family and me as an individual have just bit off a mountain of work, shutting down a business, relocating in a hurry. I'm moving out starting tomorrow morning, and the family will be 4 months behind. So there's that emotion of, leaving them and not being with them every day, and then getting into a profession that's just wildly demanding. So the whole thing was, it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to learn from one of the best. And hopefully we, at the end of some time here, we'll be able to say he's one of the best all time to be able to coach the game of football. So to learn from that, I think is, just an opportunity for me that's too good to pass up.
Yeah. Nick, please tell me, please tell me he said, hey, come check out my RV.
Yeah.
Well, based on housing prices, you get used to Indiana housing prices, and then you have to readjust your scale. I may be moving in next to him in an RV. Just pull up a fifth wheel out there. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, you could probably just snuggle up right next to him. Nick, it's great to see you, man. It feels like an I love you, man Friday back in the old days. And I do love you, man. So thank you for being here. You had a pretty big quote the other day, bringing the San Diego toughness back to the offensive line. Talk to us about what that means.
That's not a real quote. That was not for me.
We all got fooled.
Yeah, I see a lot of those things, and I saw one from Philip the other day, and I was like, that's not real. And somebody, actually a group, I became an NFL transition coach in these last several years, so there's another coaching checkbox, but they all sent congratulations, and somebody sent that picture with the quote on there, and I said, hey, just for the record, that's not a quote that is nothing that I have ever said. I've got to get to know and familiarize myself with this offensive line and the players. And yeah, I'm sure they're tough, and we'll do our best to bring the best out of them.
No question about it. And you will. Talking with Nick Hardwick this morning, former Pro Bowl center with the San Diego Chargers, unbelievable human being, fitness coach, business owner. I mean, you've done everything. You've lived so many different lives over the course of this 42 years. What does it mean to you coming back to the NFL, right? Because it does feel somewhat like a full circle movement where you finish your career and so much has happened to be walking back into a job in the NFL coming up here tomorrow. Like you said, you're hitting the ground running. What does that mean to you?
It's something that I've had my eye on for quite a while, really, but it never felt like the right time. And part of that time was making sure that I gave my boys what they needed to get them in the right place from a mentality standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, and putting them in a position to be on the path to become the men that they need to become. And I get a sense, as my oldest Hudson is 12 now, he's going to be in 7th grade next year. My youngest Teddy is going to be in 5th grade, and he's built a lot like me just from a mentality standpoint, that they're going to start pushing back from dad here rather quickly. When they start to go through the physical change and puberty and all that, I know I did with my dad. It's like a lion cub trying to push out and find his own pride. And there's a lot of resistance coming from dad. So for me, this seems like a really natural time to spend less time with them, to show them what work looks like, and to allow them, honestly, to be around other really great men and to maybe hear those voices and see those behaviors in real time. I think it's a really cool move for them, and something that I know that they've gone to Jamie independently and have said they're really proud of me and they're excited for this opportunity. So it feels like a really good time to do that. And to be honest, I'm always regular season football, as you play and start in more games, it's not the most exciting thing, but then playoff football hits and it's a different beast. And even as a former guy watching, the playoffs are what really still invoke me. And every year that I've watched, there's been a moment where I'm like, I'm getting back in. I am getting back I'm getting back into that, because honestly, that is the drug of choice. When the pressure is high and the stakes are high and you're either advancing or you're going home for the off season, that's when I'm almost, in the past, I would have said most vulnerable to reaching out to somebody. This year, I jokingly said to Rivers, I said, he's like, what happened? And I said, well, I had a moment of weakness, man. I'm watching playoff football, and probably at the end of the season saw my Chargers lose to the Raiders in a bad way, and I thought, I'm going back in. And so that's kind of it just feels like a great time. And then with Coach Harbaugh and Ortiz coming from Baltimore and the culture that both of those guys bring with them, for me, it's the opportunity of a lifetime to get a career started that I had an idea was probably coming at some point.
Nick, real quick, is this, do you have some lofty goals here as far as where you want to take this? Is this a stepping stone on your way to possibly looking at working your way up to a head coach position?
My goal is to just go in, and I've never been one to have 5-year plans or 10-year plans. I don't even have a 1-year plan. I have a 1-day plan, and my plan is to go give them my absolute best to earn the trust and respect of the coaching staff, of the front office, and probably most importantly, the players, and show up every day with tons of enthusiasm and passion. And I tell my kids this, I tell my high school boys this, I should see your love for the game, and I should feel it. It should ooze out of you. So the same thing for me is that love and passion I shouldn't even have to talk about it. You're going to know how much I love it based on the way that I work and the way that I approach my day. So that's my lofty goal.
And Nick, you're jumping into the AFC West that has some ridiculous coaches. You look Jim Harbaugh, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and Antonio Pierce, who had a hell of a start to his career. You're jumping in right now with the Chiefs at the peak of their dynasty, it seems like. What was your reaction watching them in the Super Bowl, knowing you're going to have to compete with them next year?
I wasn't sure that I was going to have to compete with them, so I was purely getting to watch as a fan. And that game was like a Western shootout, wasn't it? It was slow. It was a slow start at the beginning, and then it built up to this big shootout at the OK Corral. So from a fan standpoint, it was awesome. And then you think about, oh, this is the division that we're jumping right into here. And you think how steep of an incline you've got that treadmill set at. And what I do like about it, however, is that there is a massive amount of urgency created, that the work has to be urgent. And the players know that you've got the dynasty in your division. Andy Reid, I think, undoubtedly is one of the best coaches to ever do it. And Sean Payton is a heck of a coach in his own right. And so we've got a ton of work. We got to come together in a hurry. And I'm just thankful to be a part of it and give what I can.
All right, we're already in overtime. I apologize for going over the allotted amount here, but we have to do a little rapid fire with you. We do this with our favorite guests. We're going to buzz through some questions. This will be about 2 minutes long. Sour Patch Kids or Skittles, Nick?
Skittles.
Okay. All right. How about this one? Jean shorts or cargo pants?
Jean shorts.
Wow.
Of course. Come on.
Batman, Spider-Man.
Batman.
Yoga pants or sundresses?
Sundress.
Yeah.
That's
a correct answer.
That's definitely a point. Your favorite tattoo, Nick?
The one on my side. I've got one of an orangutan on my side.
Yeah. That one's
beast.
for Jamie.
Yeah.
I already know the answer to this one, but coffee or tea?
Coffee.
All day.
All right. Better season, summer or winter?
Summer.
There it is.
Okay. All right. How about dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Okay.
Unless we're talking big cats.
Well, you mean like lions?
Yeah.
Big cat fan here.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Nick said at one point he could kill a grizzly bear. I'm sure he thinks the same about a mountain lion.
Not a grizzly bear. No.
Wait. So you could kill a mountain lion?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, it's your lucky day. We have a mountain lion here.
Nick, beach day or lake day?
Ooh, lake day.
All right. Squats or bench press?
Front squats.
There you go.
I ain't back squatting, man. I am not back squatting.
Very important question. Very important question, though, to wrap things up here. Is ketchup okay on a hot dog?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Done deal.
Yeah.
When's the last time you ate a hot dog?
Yeah. Oh, good question.
Yeah. Follow up.
Well, I call them death sticks, so it's not real high.
Wait. What if it's like a 100% beef, all natural hot dog?
Totally. Then you're all good.
Okay.
I have convinced my kids that hot dogs are as bad for you as cigarettes.
Wow.
They are. Yeah. Honestly, they probably are.
One time during a Padres game, we ate 9 hot dogs and drank 9 beers in 9 innings of baseball.
Yeah, that was
that happened.
Yeah.
So it turns out that was
And you're still alive. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we may have shaved off several years of our life, though, Nick. It was not a fun day.
Yeah.
You can make it up.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Looking forward to doing it again soon. Congratulations. Best of luck. Best to your family. I remember meeting your kids when they were little and now they're big. And that's life, man. It marches on. And cheers to new adventures, my buddy.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Love you too, Nick. There he goes. Nick Hardwick, former Pro Bowl center with the San Diego Chargers. A great man. He will be a great coach. I can promise you that. That is one of the most convicted and like incredibly passionate persons I've ever met. Like he's succeeded at everything he's done. And it's because he pours every single ounce of himself into it. So looking forward to seeing the outcomes here. Well, what I got for you is some of what we've already discussed. Super Bowl, as far as Zev Narodsky is concerned, a founder and CEO of a marketing agency called Enter, outside the economic impact for other markets, I can't see the argument why Vegas shouldn't be the Super Bowl site every year. He said it feels like the perfect city for it. It wouldn't be any less special year over year. Although I would say, since we discussed it this morning, San Diego is a pretty good market for a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I'm hoping it returns.
Yep.
Jason Kelsey, Future Hall of Famer, current Philadelphia Eagles center, and co-host of the New Heights podcast with his brother Travis Kelce, has yet to make a decision on whether or not he's going to return to football in 2024. However, one of his teammates may have spilled the beans. Jordan Mailata was on NBC Sports Philadelphia. He said that there is no way he's back. He goes, have you seen him? He's like, you're telling me he's going shirts off at games, gambling in casinos, and he's coming back? No way. He's having way too much fun. And then how about this? Lakers may have a family pitch to keep LeBron James in Los Angeles, with speculation centering around whether James will exercise his $51.4 million player option after this season or enter free agency. LA is expected, or at very least, quote, willing to explore the notion of adding his son, Bronny James, to the 2024-2025 season. That's according to The Athletic. So LeBron James, who was tied to rumors that that the Warriors were interested in him at the trade deadline. He's got this player option coming up. All of a sudden, it's becoming crystal clear why he was making his bones known at the trade deadline. It's because he wants the Lakers to sign Bronny after his first year with the USC Trojans and set him up for an NBA future.
Yeah. I mean, we basically said that, though, a couple of days ago. Whenever we talked, was it yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. I mean, that seems right. All this seems like it's falling into place here.
Don't you
exactly
think this
like
also might mean the clock is ticking on LeBron James's career? Like, we might just see one more year after this. If the Lakers go get Bronny, bring him in, he plays with LeBron for the one season, LeBron goes out.
It could. I mean, like, let's put it this way. LeBron James is 38 this season. Like, Tom Brady played until he was 42, I want to say. So I don't know if the candle is going to flicker and go out. In fact, there's
a little different.
Yeah. Well,
football, you're getting hit more, but LeBron, those knees are getting that pressure every single game.
Yeah, but
you don't have to play half the season.
Have you watched any basketball this season and watched LeBron James?
He looks awesome.
Yeah, he's undeniably good. Like, I mean, he looks like he's just as strong as he's always been. So it's just one of those things where I don't see any weakness here. I mean, he certainly doesn't have like an extensive injury history. So if he wants to play for years with his son, he could probably pull it off.
But check this out. Like, well, as your kids get older here and you start playing games with them, especially as they move into their teenage years and they start to get a little riley, they start to want to push back on you. I mean, like my kids, whenever we played any games or sports or anything, I was like, I ain't letting you win. And I would do everything I can to make sure they didn't outplay me. And they usually did. Do you see that out on the court where all of a sudden you got LeBron going, no, wait, Bronny, you're not going to outscore me. You're not going to outscore Dad.
I think it'll be good for Bronny Jr. I mean, it might be good for LeBron. Some of the interesting things about a family dynamic is sometimes your family can bring out the worst in you. I mean, like, truly. I mean, who have you had the worst fights in your life with? It's the people you care about the most. And sometimes your family can bring out the best in you. So I'm very curious to see how it goes. It seems like they have a pretty close-knit group, and he's been pushing for this for years. He's been talking about potentially playing with his son. So I'm really excited to see if that's going to be the case. All right, we got a Bar Car Friday with Rosaluna Mezcal. That's coming up. We also have 2 pairs of tickets, one to the Aztecs basketball game, one to see Chicago here in San Diego this summer. We're going to have one of those pairs of tickets coming up next, and also some morning monologues on the other side. Big Rich, Teedy, and Fletch.
Morning monologues coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760. This update is presented by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Aztecs hoops tonight. It's a big one. The boys are at home welcoming New Mexico to town. Revenge game for the Scarlet and Black after losing to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pregame coverage gets going at 6. Game time at 7. If you're heading out to Viejas Arena tonight, wear black. It is the blackout game. And get there early because there will be that courtyard activation that's been pretty awesome the last couple times they've done it. Tiger Woods completed the first round of the Genesis Invitational at 1 over par yesterday. Reports are he was dealing with some back spasms on the course. He's tied for 49th. He's going to tee off around noon today. Patrick Cantlay in the lead, 7 under after day 1. Major League Baseball, the 2024 season is almost here. March 20th is when the Dodgers and Padres play the first game. Commissioner Rob Manfred let it be known yesterday he plans to retire in 2029. Why are people saying Hugh-ya to Jackson Hewitt? Well, when you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they're going to beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations. Through April 7th, terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Wow. It is a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg N Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. We got Rosa Luna Mezcal coming in here at 8 o'clock with Tony Khan. Just stitches on his face. He doesn't care. He's going to be here. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760. What you got, Fletch?
Well, Paris said this on YouTube. Work scheduled at 8 a.m. Don't they know it's a Bar Cart Friday? Guess I'm going to have to attend both.
There you go. Paris, well done. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And well planned. All right, we're going to have our morning monologues coming up here in just a moment, but I wanted to just review a quick list. This may be AI generated. We don't know. But Sports Illustrated, I think they do this every year, but they fired all of their writers.
Yeah, do they even have anybody?
So now, yeah, they put out these lists of, like, for example, bold predictions for the 2024 NFL season.
I like the very first bold prediction, by the way.
Yeah.
The very first one from the AFC North, Cleveland Browns. The Browns will be aggressive on the backup quarterback market.
Wow. How bold. What the hell is going on? Pittsburgh Steelers bold prediction was Ryan Tannehill will start at least 4 games for the Steelers. It's just like,
how about the Cincinnati Bengals? The Bengals will lead the league in total offense en route to a Super Bowl victory.
Wow.
So that's who they're choosing.
Yeah, I mean, all of these kind of stink, to be perfectly honest with you.
Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens draft another first-round wide receiver. Bold.
How about this? The LA Chargers. The Chargers will reach the playoffs and lose to John Harbaugh. So interesting. It's interesting. Like, so the Chargers obviously have kind of been I wouldn't say a doormat of the AFC West, but they've gotten battered around recently. The playoffs against Jacksonville 2 years ago. This season with 5 wins, they fired the staff. They're bringing in new blood with Jim Harbaugh, Nick Hardwick. We just had on the show. You want to hear a bold prediction? How about this? The Chargers will be in the AFC Championship game.
Wow,
that's a bold prediction. Against probably the Kansas City Chiefs. My guess is the Chiefs will win the division. The Chargers will get in as a wild card. If it were going to go one way, I would predict it going that way. And that would be incredible. Can you imagine AFC West rivals facing each other in the AFC Championship game? Like I said, since the Chiefs win the division, it would be in Kansas City. That would be an incredible storyline. And you can see it. Look, the Chargers have everything they need. They have a building offensive line. They've got a good enough defense. They just didn't have very good coaching on the defensive side of the ball. They have a talented running back. They have a supremely talented quarterback. There's my bold prediction.
Yeah, no, that is a hell of a prediction. I mean, I do see the Chargers doing much better. I don't know if I see them in the championship game yet. I mean, that means all of a sudden everything's just clicking right off the bat. I think they're going to be better. I would say they're a playoff team. I like this one from Sports Illustrated, though, for the Raiders. Raiders are going to bring in competition for Aiden O'Connell, and the quarterback's name they're going to bring in is Sam Darnold.
Interesting.
He's locked up.
Well, they got to do something. They could trade for him. They got to do something.
He's not locked up. He's a free agent.
I don't think Aiden O'Connell is the answer. The long-term, the long-term answer in Vegas.
Oh, he deserves a shot, though, right? Don't you think?
Do you think he's the long-term
answer? No, but I think he deserves a shot to
to
compete for the starting job here next season.
It depends on who he's competing with.
Correct.
These the computers over at, we're assuming computers over at Sports Illustrated are saying the Bengals win the Super Bowl. Do you know who they beat?
Let's see, NFC side.
I'm going to guess the AI likes the Lions.
AI loves the Lions.
Oh, I was going to say the Rams.
They're in the Super Bowl, they lose.
I could see the Rams getting back there.
Let's see what they say about the Rams.
The Rams are funny. They have like all the old people, but they have a ton of young talent.
I agree with this one. This is the only one I found that I agree with 100%. The Cowboys will extend Dak Prescott, making him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
You think that gets done this offseason?
100%. I don't think Dak will play another down of football for them unless they do.
They got I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it's the morning monologue. We do it every day.
I wasn't looking up.
I did the point.
By the way, 49ers are going to sign Kirk Cousins to a 2-year deal.
I could actually see that.
I could see that as well.
Potentially. Depends on what they think of Brock after that game. I mean, look, Shanahan kind of suddenly fired Steve Wilkes. It's possible the more changes could be coming.
Yep, Brock's out.
No. I brought the sweatshirt. I named the dog. Okay.
What if you change the dog's name to Kirk?
No.
Okay.
I'll go quick with mine. Just get it out of the way here because it's golf, and I don't know who all really cares about it. But my brother sent me this text yesterday, and it got me thinking about how cool the PGA Tour could have been right now. And it's because of all the stars that are now littered across 2 different leagues, one of which you never really get to see. But I was watching the Genesis Invitational yesterday, and Tiger's making this triumphant return. He looked pretty good for a lot of it. Then he was dealing with some back spasms and stuff because he old. But I was thinking about if Cam Smith, Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, Matthew Wolff, Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, all never would have gone to live, and they would have stayed in the PGA Tour. And you get them on the same course as Tiger, as Rory, as Jordo, as JT. It's like we finally got to the spot after Tiger Woods' run of dominance where we have really great young talent coming up in the world, and it's all split up, and we never really get to see live golf. Like, you have to go out and find it for you. It's not offered up like the Genesis Invitational was yesterday, and that just kind of sucks.
Brought to you by Sega.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's early in the golf season to care, but I do agree with a lot of what you said. As we get closer to majors, I think.
And in majors, those guys will be playing. And at least those that qualified.
I think that all goes away because, yeah, I mean, you get to see them in majors, and that's all anybody cares about in golf.
But think about like the lack of buzz that there was about the Farmers Insurance Open this year.
Yeah.
Like it felt like lower than it really has been over the last decade.
That's local buzz. I mean, nationally, people just don't really check in with golf until majors. You have to be like a golf fanatic to really care about the Genesis Open. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that exists.
Yeah, except for the fact that Tiger was playing in it. And so that gets top of the line ESPN news.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have back issues throughout the golf season, because I'd like to see a lot more of Tiger, especially in the majors. Moving on to mine. I will say this about football coming up this college football season. The way the Pac-12 is grasping at straws to try to keep together what is a destroyed conference, right now it feels like an insincere attempt to get executives paid. I'm hoping it pans out differently than how it feels. But right now it feels like there's just preservation of jobs going on, and they're holding up what could be a really cool thing for college football. And I hope that nearsighted selfishness doesn't create an issue for actually having a 12-team playoff in college football coming up next season, because everybody who watched the 4-team playoff in college football knows that it kind of stinks, knows that there should be more teams in. That gives better opportunities for teams like San Diego State to get into the playoff, and I sincerely hope that happens. Who knows? Maybe the Pac-12 and the Mountain West merge, and that's what we're waiting for. If that's the case, well, then great. I just hope we get there soon, because right now it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It feels like whatever's happening with the Pac-12 is holding things up. And maybe this is because I'm not on the inside. I don't have inside knowledge as to exactly what the holdup is here. And I'm hoping that unveils itself soon, because right now it doesn't feel great.
I'm with you on that.
What do you got, TD?
What I got is Taylor Swift, okay, over the course of the NFL season, at least half of the NFL season, when her and Travis were dating, she got a lot of heat, a lot of smoke blown her way. NFL fans were not real happy about the amount of airtime she was getting. It was overboard. I mean, it was getting jammed down our throats. The NFL was loving the fact that they were bringing on some Taylor Swift viewership. I mean, and actually, I say a lot of Taylor Swift viewership. However, Taylor Swift, she's actually a pretty damn good girlfriend. Okay, I'm throwing it out there right now. She's a pretty damn good girlfriend, because we always talk about our better half, right? I mean, our wives. We're so lucky. We are so lucky to have them, because they make us so much better.
I hear a but coming.
There's no but on this. Taylor Swift. Okay, check this out. Travis Kelce now getting heat for the way he reacted to his coach out on the Super Bowl, getting some heat over pictures that were taken partying with the parade. Tragedy strikes at the parade, and now he gets a little heat because I'm sure he was obligated to attend events after that parade that where photos were taken, and they're like, how are they still at parties? Trust me, they have to be at the parties. But Taylor Swift has donated $100,000 to the family of the mom who was shot at that after the parade. Taylor Swift has nothing to do with the Kansas City Chiefs other than Travis Kelce. Taylor Swift was not at that parade. Taylor Swift has nothing to do with that parade, but Taylor Swift knows optics. Okay, this looks good for her. I get it, but I think it is out of the kindness of her heart. And I think that this helps in a lot of ways, and it helps Travis Kelce with his better half stepping up and stepping in, going, no, we care. We do care. She did a good thing, man. $100,000, that's awesome.
Sounds like pandering. Do you want to? Are you
trying to get her on the show, guys? I don't know if you guys.
No, honestly,
listen,
I'm joking. I think that there's a lot of bad that comes out of storylines like we saw in Kansas City. The one good thing is the outreach from many people, not just Taylor Swift, but others who are trying to make things a little bit better for those injured or involved in that horrific event. And there's more updates available. There's more and more people being released from the hospital. And apparently this whole thing started over some dispute. That's the war. I mean, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, right. And yes, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid. Also, what the hell are you doing bringing this gun to the parade? Unless you wanted to find a dispute.
Yeah.
So, I'm sickened by it.
All right, coming up next, we'll move on to something something
More positive.
something a little more positive. Speaking of girlfriends, speaking of speaking of significant others, it's possible that Big Rich, TD, and Fletch is going to be subjected to the Kardashian curse.
Huh?
Yeah. That's on the other side. But first, Fletch, you're over there. You're holding your phone again. You keep talking to us about darts.
Yeah, you're
Darts, dude, it's electric. I did not win. I didn't even get close to winning yesterday, but I did watch. And the drama that can be, I don't even know what the right word is, built up around people throwing sticks at a board is pretty incredible. The play-by-play announcers do an awesome job. It was fun to watch. I didn't win yesterday. That doesn't mean I won't win tonight. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. No sharks, no competitive leagues. All you're doing is picking more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections that you could watch the winnings roll in. And now you can win up to 100 times your money. Those sneaky little demons, man, they can help you out with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Right now, I'm taking a look. Richie mentioned I was looking at my phone. That is because as of today, the second half of the basketball season-long entries are open for business. That means you can get Trae Young, 9.5, 30-plus point games left. Well, there's 20-point games or 27 games remaining for Trae Young. I think you could probably get there. I'd go more on that one, but you could go check it out today. Prize Picks has the most creative and fun little promos you could possibly think of, including today, which is Flex Friday, which essentially gets you a free entry. So go check out Prize Picks today. Download the app, use promo code Fletch, get the first deposit match up to $100, and find out for yourself why Prize Picks has become America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Get a $100 first deposit match with promo code Fletch on Prize Picks.
Big Rich here with you to talk to you about our great friends over at sdfatloss.com. You know, we had weight problems, and I say problems because the three of us together, we had no idea how heavy or fat we were until we stepped on a scale in studio, and it launched us on our very own weight loss journey that completely failed. I weighed in over 300 pounds. TD was over 280. And Benny boy, man, Fletch was nipping at TD's heels at just under 280 pounds.
278.
Yeah, fattest I'd ever been in my life.
I mean, that's not healthy. None of us need to carry that much weight around, and we were aware of it, so we tried to do something about it. And like I said, it failed miserably. But with the good folks at sdfatloss.com, they taught us how to do this. So it's a very simple plan, very easy to follow. You have your free consultation with Wayne and Chloe, your weight loss team with SD Fat Loss, and there's no judgment. They just help you out, and they give you the hand holding frankly you need every step of the way. And when I say you need it, not to follow their plan, but sometimes because you want to diverge. And this is a lifestyle change. And so you've got to stay on track, and they are the perfect people to help you through it. Look, don't be lured into these fad diets where you take some prescription drug, you lose a bunch of weight, and then you gain it all back. That's yo-yo dieting, super unhealthy for your heart. You want to take the weight off, you want to keep it off, and you want to have a long-term answer to the question, how do I lose this weight? It's very simple. Go to sdfatloss.com and lose all of those unwanted pounds with Wayne and Chloe. Oh my God. Big Rich TV and Flex, San Diego Sports 760. Again, some of the conversations we can't bring to air, we're thinking about an after hours podcast.
Doing some online shopping.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
We love how the advertisers online, they really target you and your specific needs.
Right.
It works every single time. Coming up in the next hour, Bar Card Friday resumes with Rosa Luna. Mezcal coming in. We're going to have some Palomas. Also, we have Chicago tickets for you to win a pair in just a few minutes. We'll tell you when to call. But the Kardashian curse, guys, it may be coming for us because Kim Kardashian shared with who was it? Vice, or was it Page Six?
It was on the James Corden podcast. This Life Is Mine. She was on the podcast with him, and so she shared what she desires in a man.
That's right.
Okay. And because there's rumors that she's dating Odell Beckham Jr. No one's confirmed that yet, but she laid out her list of things that she needs. And Rich, I feel like, you check every box.
Okay, so give me the list.
Okay. Accountable for actions.
Done.
Okay.
Yep.
Takes accountability, which I feel like is the same thing.
She probably was just stalling to think of something else.
So wait, if OBJ is on this, like, he's into weird stuff. You remember that story from him a couple years ago?
Oh, look, it's all alleged. We don't know.
Right. How about this one? Good teeth.
You got those.
Dude, Ocean View Dental.
That's what I'm saying.
Dr. Jordan Colby.
You're so in.
Yes. Yes.
Can't hold their own.
By the way, people from all over Southern California go and see Dr. Jordan Colby, and I'm one of them. No, dude, this is brilliant.
Right.
So, what was the last one?
There's more. They can hold their own.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone she doesn't have to babysit all the time.
Well, that's where it gets a little squirrely.
Just a good, genuine person that's driven and has their own motivations in life too.
Okay, dude. Okay.
We're so close on this one.
Listen, I will say this. A lot of boxes checked there, and I'm going to talk to Annie tonight if she's into the idea of having a throuple with me and Kimmy K.
Show her this picture.
Yeah, let me see. Hang on. Let me see. Here we go. Just scrolling up. I'm scrolling up.
There's several.
And
But this one right here. So, I mean, come
okay, well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, she would look great on our Christmas card. Can you imagine if it's me, Annie, my wife, our two lovely children, and then it's Kim Kardashian, and I've got to.
Annie's just pissed.
I just have to explain to everybody. Look, it was love at first sight, and we had to make room. Okay, we got to run. Look, it's a Bar Cart Friday. We have Chicago tickets to give away, so call in at exactly 7:58 at this number, 877-767-4760. Caller number 5 is going to win those Chicago tickets. We got Rosa Luna in studio coming up next. It's Big Rich, TD and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
Hour 3, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Aztecs hoops tonight, and it's a big one. The boys are at home welcoming New Mexico to town. Revenge game for the Scarlet and Black after they lost to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pre-game coverage gets started at 6 tonight. Game time is at 7, and if you're heading out to Viejas, get there early for the courtyard activation and wear black because it is a blackout game tonight. Tiger Woods completed the first round of the Genesis Invitational at 1 over par, tied for 49th. Patrick Cantlay in the lead at 7 under. Major League Baseball 2024 season's getting close. Commissioner Rob Manfred in a press conference yesterday let it be known that he will retire in 2029. Why are people saying Hugh-ya to Jackson Hewitt? Well, when you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they're going to beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment is required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
It's been a long week and the fellas are thirsty.
Scotchy, scotch, scotch. Here it goes down into my belly.
It's time to cruise into the weekend. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch present Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by Keg N Bottle, with the best selection of bourbon, whiskey, tequila, private section bottles, and more.
My problem is I drink too much, way too much.
Yeah.
I get my doctor a urine specimen. There was an olive in it.
Now, let's pour some drinks.
Happy Friday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. San Diego Sports 760 on a Bar Car Friday, brought to you by Keg N Bottle. 10 locations around San Diego. Tony Conja, owner of Keg N Bottle, in studio with us. And as he walked in, we got to see the wound, the war wound on his face. Hang on, let's turn that mic
There
on.
we go. Now,
Yep, a little crazy, but what are you gonna do?
what you took an elbow to the face?
Just a little elbow to the head, you know?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
So how are things at home with Lydia?
He's like, what the hell? I told you not to play.
Oh, we thought it was
Oh,
her.
yeah, we thought it was her.
Yeah.
Drop an elbow on you.
She's been known to do that.
Yeah,
Not this time.
She's been known after the goat arrived at the big game tailgate. Elbows were flying.
Yeah, she elbowed me directly in the chop. She's like, "Are you responsible for this?" And I was like, "What? You mean the livestock in your restaurant?" Yes, I'm sorry. And she gave me a karate chop to the throat.
Right.
Still sore.
Welcome to my world.
That was an awesome time. If anybody missed the Big Rich, TD, and Fletch big game tailgate party at KMB Bistro, that is going to that we've already got requests. That'll become an annual event. We're going to have to tailgate something every single year.
Whether Tony likes it or not,
Yeah,
we're showing up.
we've signed them up.
Yeah, that's right.
We're also joined by, on this Bar Card Friday, Brandon from Rosa Luna Mezcal. We got an artisanal mezcal sitting in front of us in this beautiful bottle. It's got this light pink label. It's got two ladies and a moon and a couple of agave plants.
I think they're worshiping the moon.
They're worshiping the moon.
What?
Okay, so we've got to dive in a little bit here. We're gonna try this mezcal neat. Brandon, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for waking up with us, dude.
Thanks for having me here, guys.
And thank you for following our rules here, because we always say we want to try it neat first.
Oh yeah. We've always said
That's
that.
the idea.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, it's got a hell of a nose.
It smells great.
It does.
Yeah. See, I knew it.
I
knew it. Brandon, how'd you get into the biz here? How'd you hook up with Rosa Luna before we take a little taste?
Well, when I first moved to San Diego, I was actually I wanted to get into academia. So I was a literature major at UCSD, and then I started bartending because I had to pay rent.
Yeah, man.
Yep. We have the exact same story.
That was the long and short of it. But
for us, we moved here for porn, and that did not work out because we were heavy set. And so they said, you know what?
One can dream, though, guys. One
can dream. It's weird. We had no one that was like, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, actually, yeah. We put out an ad and everything.
Right.
We're like, do you need 3 of us? We're like, otherwise, it's a no-go. Anyways, long story short, radio called and we answered.
So here we are.
So very similar paths to get to the same place here, Brandon. In all honesty, it's cool that you got into it, because this I've read about it. Like, explain to us how exactly mezcal is made.
So I would say the biggest difference between tequila and mezcal production is that mezcal is roasted and tequila is steamed. So the process takes a lot longer for that roasting process with mezcal. With tequila, it typically takes between like 18 and 24 hours to fully cook them in an autoclave. But with mezcal, they're fully roasted underground for about 7 to 9 days.
Whoa.
Wow.
And we actually take a little bit longer time to roast it, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But that process it's all done by hand. Like none of it's automated. None of it's like it's like the mezcalero has such a long tradition of making that mezcal that like it's passed down from generation to generation. It's still done by hand. You go down to Oaxaca and you walk in and it's still like a dirt floor and like a thatch roof and whatnot. You go into tequila and it's like it's a warehouse. It's more industrialized.
At first,
Interesting.
I was picturing Brandon's backyard all dug up.
Yeah. Holes everywhere.
Dude, and I'll tell you, like the problem. I mean, it's a real bitch trying to make this mezcal. I mean, people.
It takes a long. It really is a labor of love.
My
It takes a
neighbors in
long
La
time.
Jolla hate me.
Constantly a low grade area of smoke over there. So the smokiness of mezcal is actually from the roasting.
It's from the cooking process.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was something they did in the distilling process.
No, it's the cooking process.
How about that?
And what separates us from most other brands, if you guys notice, you get a little bit less smoke on this and you get more of those secondary flavors from the agave itself. So what we do during the roasting process, we add an extra layer of the bagasso, which is the shredded fibers of the agave plant itself, in between the rocks and the heat source, so that there's no direct flame that ever touches the agave.
You know
So
what?
it takes a little bit longer, but it's worth it because you get all of those beautiful flavors of the agave itself and a little bit less of like the overwhelmingly smoky flavor that a lot of people get from other mezcals.
I've always said it.
So-
In between the rocks and the heat source,
Yeah.
it is a space you want to stay away from.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? In between, there's a little bit of magic involved. We're gonna get to the top shelf story of the day, but first, let's take a quick sip of this mezcal.
Yeah, take a little sippy.
Oh man!
Wow.
Dude.
Wow, that's good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that is good.
It's got like a
Yeah,
little fruit to it.
A little heat on it too.
Yeah.
For being 80 proof, it does. It
Yeah.
has like a little bit of that, a little bit more viscosity than most mezcals that are at 80 proof, and that's because we use. Sorry, I'm not used to sipping mezcal at 8 a.m.
Oh, come on.
I know.
You gotta step up to the challenge.
Yeah, right. Come on, man.
It's gonna get way worse.
I like how you said I'm not used to it, and you went back for another sip. So
I just had to cleanse my palate. It was
Yep.
good.
He's
Yeah.
like,
Good.
I just gotta. I want to get used to
Yeah.
it though.
So
Right.
the one thing that makes Rosa Luna so unique is we use a process called capon. So when the agave plant reaches full maturity, it shoots up a long flowering stalk called a quiote.
Yeah, that's what
And-
was my high school nickname.
yeah,
Long flowering stalk.
crazy story. Over the weekend,
Funny, that was mine too.
Rich had to chase down a quiote.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll tell the story briefly, but there was a coyote 6 feet away from me in my mother-in-law's backyard. I chased it down a canyon through thorn bushes, and then at the bottom of the canyon, I found agave, and I began roasting it. No, I'm kidding.
And that's the story of tequila.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, let's do this.
Time to break out the good stuff.
This is the best of the best.
It's the top shelf on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
All right, so the top shelf story of the day today.
We got one for you.
It's the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So check this out. So there was a marketing executive in Vegas all week long throwing events, this guy named Rev. And on the other side of it, he was interviewed by several people curious how things went at the Super Bowl site, a Vegas Super Bowl for the first time ever. He goes, it should never be anywhere else. He was like, this is it. He was like, this is the Mecca. This is where we should do Super Bowls. He goes, outside of obvious economic impacts for other cities, he was like, this is where the Super Bowl should be every single year. Agree or disagree? We discussed it earlier. I think the three of us understand how great it is to be in Vegas and how much fun it is to be in Vegas. But for it to be in Vegas, the Super Bowl in Vegas every single year, I couldn't disagree with him more.
Well, okay, so I could go 50-50 on it. I mean, I see the merit of it being there every year. It was pretty cool. By the way, the NFL did a fantastic job to making sure that everything went smooth, so there was no backlash of, see, we told you, you can't do this out in Vegas. You can't do it in Vegas. They did it in Vegas. Everything worked. Nobody got in trouble. Nobody had problems. At least we didn't hear about it if they did. And it looked great. But it's kind of fun going from city to city, and you want to give the city that is hosting the Super Bowl the money, man.
Yeah.
And it's great because I know for a fact New Orleans is already starting to prepare for next year. So if it was in Vegas year after year, it would have to be a constant state of preparation. The NFL would own Las Vegas or a portion of it, and it would have to just keep going over and over and over again. But the cool part about New Orleans already getting it ready is it's going to be a brand new, awesome experience for everybody who's hitting New Orleans a year from now.
Yeah.
And that's how it is in every city. Atlanta was incredible. Some of the experiences we had there with the aquarium, having the media party on the Tuesday night where Wolfgang Puck was there serving up duck nachos. Like,
Right.
And that's something different in every single city. Miami was a different, I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, Wolfgang Puck refuses to go to Vegas.
No, he might go to Vegas. He might have been there the whole time. Who knows? But I'm just saying every city does a little tweak to try to one up each other, and it keeps getting better. If Vegas is just the same thing every single year, it might get stale.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the Super Bowl was located in one particular spot every single year, there would be a Super Bowl row that was set up ready to go. I mean, they build a small city there.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
And I do think spreading the love, sharing the wealth, bouncing from city to city. Look, some cities work, some cities don't. I didn't love the Super Bowl in Indianapolis. I thought Arizona is an awesome spot. And even that had some of the drawbacks of what we were talking about LA, because there's urban sprawl in the Phoenix area, and there was a lot of things far apart from each other. But you had all the excitement from waste management for that Super Bowl mixed in with Super Bowl. And it was cool, like to have two kind of dueling events that people could bounce back and forth to. And then it culminates with the big game. It was awesome. So yeah. I think it works in some cities, it doesn't in others. But overall, I like the idea that, you know, as you're watching some of the television, the sets in different parts of town, like I can't wait to see how they set up Bourbon Street for all the broadcasts leading up to Super Bowl 59 now coming up in New Orleans.
We just got past a drink.
Yeah, this is a Rosaluna, by the way, is in studio on a Bar Car Friday, brought to you by Keg N Bottle, 10 locations.
Get the story behind this bottle. We've been encaptured by it since yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. The label, Brandon. How did you guys come up with this label?
So the label is more of like, it's more of a lore when it comes to Oaxaca. So most of the magic happens at night when
there we go.
Exactly.
Let's slow it down, Brandon.
Turn us on?
Yeah. You want me to talk to you about my Quixote?
It's getting super sexual.
Yeah.
I love it.
One more time about the roasting
the two women on the label represent the mountains that encompass the valley of Oaxaca.
Looks like four
in
mountains.
Montemon, where it's made. Yeah. Well,
they call that.
You're right. You're right.
A lap for that?
Do we both have to go?
No, just him. He was in the middle of this beautiful story about the mountains, and you're talking about boobs.
Right.
I mean, it happens, guys. It happens.
Well, hold on. Oh, wait. Time out. Tony Khan just sends us a link to Rosaluna yesterday. You immediately go, is it Karma Sutra? Are we going to have the sex? Those were your exact words.
Did I say that on air?
You're going to have to pay extra for that, guys.
And then, by the way, we went to the IG page, and who made the first comment on the IG page?
TD sent the screenshot.
Oh, it was me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, you got to take a lap.
Hang on. Golly.
Sweet. Look, he's all
It's
worked
because
up.
we love you.
Yeah, look, we're helping you. We're helping you help us.
All right, Brandon, continue with the Oaxacan mountains.
He's taking the mezcal with him.
I know.
And I'm taking his
I
mic.
have to, guys.
There you go.
All right.
love
So
when he gets
the red color on the label is indicative of the soil in Oaxaca. So that's like a very specific shade of red that we printed on the label. But the two women represent the mountains because Oaxaca is in a valley.
Yeah.
And then the female figures on the label also is an homage to Mayuel, which is the goddess of agave.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really good stuff. The juice is good inside the bottle. The label is awesome. The presentation, we're learning, like when you're walking through a liquor store, you know, you go to Keg N Bottle, any of the 10 locations in San Diego, and you're trying to choose a mezcal, you don't know, right? So you're doing things on looks at first, and then you get to know and enjoy a product on the other side of that. So well done on the bottle. What's this first drink you made for us, man?
This is the OG Paloma.
All right.
So the Paloma was originally first crafted in Jalisco, and it was made with tequila. but we're switching it over to mezcal today. So
Okay.
this is mezcal and squirt. It's honestly
That's it. That's all it
it's
is.
the easiest, and a little bit of salt. I added just a little bit of salt to
Just to make it pop.
make it pop.
Oh man.
So,
yeah.
but this is the OG. We're gonna go through a couple other variations of this, but
Yeah.
this is
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Set me
super
up.
easy to
Set me
make,
up by
like,
the pool.
for anyone who's like at home and just wants to chill. Like this is the easiest cocktail
Wait
to
a
make,
second.
and it's so refreshing.
Wait a second. You use squirt soda, so lemon lime soda.
Yeah.
No,
You
well,
use-
that's grapefruit.
It's great. Yeah,
baby.
squirt's
Oh,
grapefruit
I
soda.
didn't know it was
Squirt's
grapefruit.
grapefruit.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my mind is blown.
Yeah.
I'm 38 now. I
Welcome.
thought it was lemon lime my entire life.
Welcome to the next level.
Okay, so all it is grapefruit soda, a little like a sprinkling of salt and mezcal. That's all you
That's
put
it.
in this glass.
Yep. It's super easy.
Okay. By the way, on sale right now at kegnbottle.com. Normally $40. It's only $30 for a bottle of this?
Yep, $30. Nice
Wow.
and easy. Only
Okay.
for our listeners today.
Come on.
There you go. Kegnbottle.com. Pick you up a bottle of this Rosa Luna mezcal. If you want to make a paloma, apparently all you need is squirt and mezcal, and it is sensational. Dude, this is a refreshing.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
didn't really think of it, but palomas, like that is right up there with the Bloody Mary or the screwdriver. That is a morning
Oh,
drink.
it's classic.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
And
it
it's
a
right
lot.
up there with a margarita too. Like margarita is the #1 selling cocktail in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a little bit something different today, but like I love the way that Rosa Luna specifically pairs with grapefruit.
It works.
So we're gonna get into
totally
some
works.
weird. We're gonna get into some weird craft sodas and stuff like that. And I'm gonna make one with fresh juice as well. But yeah, right now we're starting off with the OG.
I'm liking the little fizz here from the squirt.
Yeah.
With it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is pressing all the buttons. Speaking of which, we're going to have to hit a halftime here in a second, and then we're going to try that next drink from Brandon with Rosa Luna Mezcal. It's a Bar Cart Friday here in studio, San Diego Sports 760.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all
Wait,
because
what?
I always got to take a lap, and I just took a lap.
Oh,
And I'm
because
so
of
bad-
halftime.
Yeah. So,
You know what?
but
Listen,
maybe it's so good.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
I think there's
Thank
no
you.
way you screw this up again.
Thank you very much. Check it out in baseball. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred announces that he's getting the hell out and he's going to retire in 2029. So just a couple years left there. In college hoops, Caitlin Clark sets an NCAA scoring record. She became the all-time leading scorer in NCAA women's basketball last night, hitting a long three-pointer in the first quarter of Iowa's home game against Michigan to surpass Ben Fletcher. Nope, Kelsey Plum of 3,527 points. Aztecs take on New Mexico tonight at Viejas Arena. 7 p.m. tip there. Pre-game coverage starts at 6 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. In racing, you ain't first, you're last, man. Daytona 500, iconic 500-mile NASCAR Cup Series season opener held annually at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. Man, it happens this Sunday at Green Flag Waves at 11:30 our time and in the NBA.
Tell you right now, Royal Tail Racing right there
Yeah,
on the track of Talladega.
Listen, man,
or
I'm
Daytona.
Yeah. Either way, I'm in, man.
You
Tell
tell
what.
me about it, brother Travis. I was down there in the pits. Now I was drinking, was not fixing cars because my uncle Carl, he's on pit row.
That's right. He's the one turning wrenches for you.
I'll tell you right now, he's 2 teeth too shy of a smile, but he is a hell of a wrench turner.
In the NBA, the Warriors, Brian Adams, everything I do for Utah, 140-137.
That is a slam dunk.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you.
God.
Minnesota Water, the Trailblazers, 128-91.
That's very
And
apt on a Bar Cart Friday.
thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. I saved it for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Grizzly, Harvey Oswald, the Bucks, 113-110.
It's so
Yeah.
dark.
Anyways, cricket
Is that a Lee Harvey Oswald reference the
Yeah.
day after you made a John Wilkes Booth reference?
Too soon?
I can't
Wait.
wait.
That's it.
That's all.
That was
That's
fine.
fine.
Every game
There was only 3 games last
Yeah.
night.
Okay, no, I'm fine. I'm recovering. Okay. Rosa Luna, Mezcal in studio, Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg N Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. Tony Kanja standing by. And actually, I really feel like this is the best for you right now, Tony, because when you're recovering from
Oh, yeah.
an elbow check to the forehead. A little mezcal probably is taking some of the pain away.
I feel like that's a rugby injury.
Looks like it.
It
Right?
looks like a rugby injury, not a basketball injury.
Yeah, it just split open, man. Let me tell you.
How much blood?
Yeah,
Face
a lot
is
of
bleeding
All
a
over
lot.
the court.
Yeah.
It was like
Oh.
5 minutes. I'm trying to like squeegee the
Wait,
whole court
wait,
clean.
wait, hold on. You had to squeegee the court while bleeding out?
Not me.
Oh, okay.
But they're like, dude, there's blood.
So you went to the emergency room last night.
Yeah, I didn't get home till 1:30 in the morning.
Perfect.
Tony, I gotta say, I'm
Perfect.
so glad that this was a basketball injury and not a bar fight.
Right?
Yeah, that's coming
That's how the
later
story
today.
should have
We
been.
As far as we know.
Do it every Friday at 8:45 because J Riff and Jenna in studio hanging out. J Riff, very romantic, took her to the kitchen here and they got some Cheez-Its.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
yeah.
Happy Valentine's
Oh,
Day,
wow.
Jenna. Oh, and a
Wait.
chicken bowl with rice.
Wait,
Okay, can we talk about this?
Do
Because
we
J
have
Riff
chicken bowls?
eats fake food now. Yesterday, it's hang on. Yesterday, he was eating a portobello mushroom beef bulgogi with no beef.
Okay, hang on a second. J Riff, get the hell in here.
Yeah, come on, get over here. We got it. We got a
Sick.
microphone.
You sick
Yeah.
maniac.
Right.
Wait,
Where's he going?
I know.
What's
He had to get his
why he
drink.
had to get it? Wait, is
You-
it mezcal?
You got to get your Cheez-Its.
It's
it's
coffee.
Get over
What are we
This
talking, Brandon?
guy.
Can we
got
by
the
the
pour
way,
this
Jenna,
guy up?
it is lovely to
OG
see you.
Paloma, Jenna.
The better half of
Yes.
Jonathan Rifkin, midday producer Darren Smith show. Also, play-by-play voice and just crushing it. Every time I look at Instagram, it's J Riff somewhere around Southern California
Right.
calling a game.
Right.
You are the busiest man I know.
I mean, thank you, I
But-
guess.
But here's the problem, and you're very talented too.
Appreciate that.
But here's the problem. You're eating portobello mushrooms instead of beef.
Correct. No beef.
Get the hell out of here. That is the end of this interview.
Hold on. Rosaluna vegan.
Yes, straight vegan.
Which hang on, Brandon. Let's ask this question.
Yeah.
Mezcal not vegan?
Mezcal's vegan.
No matter what.
But
no, if there's a certain style. Excuse me. There's a certain style of mezcal called pachuga.
You should take
that
another
is
drink.
not-
Oh,
I
yeah.
should really.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they were introduced to
Pachuga.
Pachuga.
Yeah, we know Pachuga.
Yeah,
Pachuga.
Tony.
Yeah.
Going back to the boob jokes again, guys.
Wait,
Well, no,
Seriously?
hang on.
Wait, hold on. Wait, does Pachuga mean boob?
It's breast, yeah.
What? Wait, it does? We knew it was our favorite. No, we're kidding. Mezcal's great. In fact, Pachuga, we've had a couple of really weird incidents
Yes.
with recently.
Right.
Oh, do tell.
Right.
We'll tell you later.
Okay. Listen, at the big game tailgate, there was a Pachuga incident.
There sure was.
Right.
We'll
Right.
tell you when you're older, Brandon.
yes,
Gosh,
exactly.
Thank you,
something's-
thank you.
Yeah.
J-Riff, you've got the old school Paloma here in hand.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
This is very, very
I
good.
say thank you like I did.
Well, no, I know that I'm not thanking you. I'm thanking you.
Travis Dale's like, thank you.
I watched him make it this time. It was complicated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very complicated.
One ice cube.
Turns out.
One. Here's the recipe. Here's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
recipe.
go.
One ice cube.
Uh-huh.
Squirt in one hand. Boom. Mezcal in the other hand.
Wow.
That's done.
Done.
Too
Done and done.
complicated. for
One
me.
for one.
Done and done.
Yeah.
Have we
How about
talked about how Tony shaved? Have you guys already touched on that?
Yeah,
We
you know
talked
it
about
happened
it
a
last
couple
week.
weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Our
I haven't
heads-
seen him since.
We're still
Yeah,
dizzy.
you didn't show up to basketball, dude.
Well, some of us have like jobs and stuff.
Oh,
Dude, I promise Tony works more than you
I
do.
was about to right now.
Yeah.
She's like, you haven't worked a day in your life. You have the
Yeah.
softest hands.
Yeah, let me feel
I
your
do
hands.
have
Hang on.
very soft hands.
There's no
What-
calluses.
Well, actually, there are.
Oh, look at that. Have you been
Is
working
that
out?
because you're vegan?
Yeah, I can tell.
Right.
I've been
Yeah.
shucking so much corn.
Yeah. I have to go to Brandon's house and roast that pina.
Yeah. Oh, feel my hands. I want to talk to you about my coyote. Anyways, look. It's a mean sprouting flower.
Yeah.
Look, guys, there's a lot more mezcal to drink here coming up on a Bar Car Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. We'll be right back. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
Hey, it's Fletch for SDFatLoss.com, and I got to tell you, last Friday for Bar Cart Friday, we were out at KMB Bistro, the best place in the world, basically. But every single person that came up to the three of us, the first thing they said was, "Oh my God, you guys really did lose the weight," and we really did. And it's all thanks to SDFatLoss.com. They have the secret for quick weight loss and, most importantly, lasting weight loss using their time-tested methods over literally tens of thousands of clients across the country. SDFatLoss.com. They've broken the weight loss code, gone to those starvation diet plans, do away with the latest fads of their long list of side effects. SD Fat Loss is healthy weight loss using real whole foods and proprietary strategies to help your body become you once again. You know that you see in the old photo albums or back on your Instagram memories, that you can make its way back. You just need a little help, and it's from SDFatLoss.com. You got nothing to lose in this free try or the free consultation with Wayne and Chloe. They'll just talk you through exactly what your body needs in a personalized little roadmap to get you back to the version of you that you liked a little better. So SDFatLoss.com. Head over there today, get a free consultation with Wayne and Chloe. Start the program here. If you have something a couple months out, the three of us were able to lose 30 pounds in about 2 months. So if you're looking forward to a wedding or a graduation, make sure you get on over to SDFatLoss.com today. Schedule a free consultation and start losing the weight tomorrow. Actually, you'll like this. The first couple of days, you get to eat a lot, and that's just part of the program. So get on over to SDFatLoss.com today. Talk to Wayne and Chloe. They were our weight loss team. They can be your weight loss team as well. You got nothing to lose but those unwanted pounds. So get on over to SDFatLoss.com today. This update is presented by the Jim Betrell Real Estate Team. We'll begin this morning with Aztecs Hoops. It's a biggie tonight. The boys are at home welcoming New Mexico to town. It's a revenge game for the Scarlet and Black after losing to the Lobos 88-70 back on January 13th. Pre-game coverage gets going with John Schaefer and myself at 6. Game time with Uncle Teddy Leitner is at 7. If you're heading out to Viejas Arena tonight, get there early and wear black. They got a courtyard activation going before the game. The blackout game happens as soon as tip-off happens. Tiger Woods completed the first round at the Genesis Invitational, 1 over par. Reports are that he was dealing with some back spasms on the course. He's tied for 49th. He's going to tee off around noon today. Patrick Cantlay, a.k.a. TD in high school, he is in the lead at 7 under after day 1. Actually, you could lay in high school. Hence, you have that kid that's like half your age.
It was right after high
Married
school.
for 25 years, for Christ's sakes.
right after high school.
Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Betrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Chicago tickets. We still have to give away Chicago Earth, Wind, and Fire at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater August 31st. Tickets and info, livenation.com, or just keep it locked in here for your chance to win on a Bar Card Friday. Woo!
What the hell is going on right now?
You guys want
All
the name
I
of this
know-
one? This is the Swanky Stompers.
Of course, it's the Swanky Stompers.
Look, we said it yesterday and we meant it. When we finally run out of royalty-free music, it'll be our last show.
It's never going to happen. We're
No,
going to be
there's
on forever.
Hundreds of thousands of episodes to come.
We got J-Riff. We got Jenna in studio. Jenna getting down to some royalty-free. We got Tony Conja from Keg N Bottle, 10 locations all throughout San Diego. And we got Brandon Curry from Rosa Luna mixing us up some mezcal-flavored drinks here on a Bar Card Friday. And wait, is this a different drink than what we currently have? We have 2 drinks in front of us?
Yeah, let's do the first one first.
Okay. We always do the first one first.
First one first.
Oh, first one first.
Hey, Dominic, good to see you, buddy. Dom here, our favorite sales guy in a Frey Ranch sweatshirt. You could use a large there, buddy. But-
Yeah, I don't know. That might be Adriana's.
That's all I'm saying.
Oops.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Dom, sporting the bare midriff. Gentlemen, pop your collars, drop your dollars next to the stage. Dominic Gian Marino.
You know, it's pretty impressive. Like Dom, we probably crap on more than anyone in this building. He does the most for our show.
Yeah, he really does.
Dude,
yeah, he's a superhero.
Listen, if he didn't, we wouldn't feel comfortable absolutely destroying him on
He
air.
never learned his last name.
Right. Well, why don't you have so many letters?
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't be
come
fun.
on.
I tapped out at 15 in terms of
Yeah.
education. Then it was just nap time.
It's
I thought you had a
Macarena.
grade A education from Penn State.
Yeah.
Hashtag we are.
That's right. I totally
Did that.
pass every
We
one of those
are.
classes.
Where's our royalty free jazz as we get ready to taste this one here? Brandon, tell us what we're drinking here.
Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, well-
Sorry. That was just us getting down to the Swanky Stompers again.
That's my intro song, guys.
Right, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
Fire up the
So
band.
this is a similar style of Paloma. This is made with Fever Tree grapefruit, which is like more of like a craft style soda. So a little bit more of that like bright citrus notes on it.
Ooh, that's good too, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Oh,
like I said, like
wow.
Squirt's the OG, but like there's a lot of brands out there that are making like really good like craft sodas from really quality ingredients, and this is one of them.
So this again, just 2 ingredients. Did you put any salt in this one?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay.
So a little salt just to make it pop.
Just to make it pop.
Okay.
Okay.
Easy to make these and vastly different in taste.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Dude, this is the Mexican vacation sitting by the pool drink.
100%.
Mhm.
Dude, you know what? I'm thinking like with
We should go to Mexico.
well, yes, that too.
Brandon.
Yes.
Brandon,
Can you get us
Down.
there?
Can you bring
Wait,
us
you're
to
It
the-
just
down to
depends
go
on where you guys
with,
want to
or-
go.
Yeah.
Really.
John Fink?
John Fink is in studio. John Fink.
Also known as the vegan giant.
Yes.
Yeah, the vegan giant newsman John Fink just walked into the studio and he loves vegan things. Rosa Luna, as it turns out, vegan spirit.
Vegan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Says
yeah.
it says it right on the label.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right on the
And
label.
organic.
And,
And
Crazy.
organic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
birds, baby.
and also
Wow.
an aphrodisiac. None of us can stand up.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome to the Thunderdome,
Yeah.
John.
This is
Thought that
this
table
is,
was a little wobbly.
this is the Man Zone Part 2.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I want to talk to you about my friend Dr. Roy David. No, I'm kidding. But here, the Paloma, as it turns out, like I'm picturing you throw a party over the summer. You're like, what's everybody gonna be drinking? You put beers in the fridge. You want to make a large format drink. I mean, dump a bottle of Rosa Luna and squirt into one of those big serving bowls
For
or
real.
like one of those like
Yeah.
things with a spout.
Right.
I don't even know what they call them.
This little
Right
punch
into this
bowl right
little
here,
punch bowl
guys.
right here.
Yeah.
Buck Norris?
That would be, yeah.
Buck Norris.
Be
Buck
perfect.
Norris could hold
Buck
could
Norris.
hold a Paloma.
Now you're talking. Yeah. He was built for the Paloma.
Issue some straws and game over.
Yeah, but you know what's
Yeah.
cool about this with this too is you can look like the master bartender and make up quick drinks just with 2 ingredients. Bang
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah.
So it works either way.
I like this a lot.
It's super
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
if you're doing that like Salt Bay thing where you're
Mhm.
letting the giant, it's
Yeah.
like trickling off your forearm and it's dumping into the punch bowl, people are like, wow, he's fancy. Meanwhile, you're like, no, I just know
clearly
how to
knows what
buy
he's doing.
squirt.
Yeah.
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 So, anyways,
Okay.
We're in studio with Rosaluna Mezcal, Keg N Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. If you want to grab a bottle of this delicious mezcal, $30 on kegnbottle.com for all of our listeners today. Tony Conja in studio. Yep. Really excited about that. Let's do this.
It's time for our master distillers to offer a tasty selection. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch's Barrel Pick.
You look like I need a drink.
All right, boys. Obviously, we don't have football games to do, which is really sad. And I think everyone's a little depressed about that. But, Tony, you're going to UFC this weekend, right?
Going
in Anaheim?
UFC, yep.
Okay, this is one of their biggest events to date because Alexander Volkanovski is taking on Ilya Topuria. And the barrel pick of the week is going to be, does this fight end in a knockout?
Ooh.
Volkanovski, one of the most dangerous human beings on this planet. He is a killer in the octagon. Going up against undefeated Topuria.
What are the odds on that?
It's pretty dead even. But hang on, let me get you the exact number.
Yeah, because with these betting apps, which is becoming fun, like you don't have to, like in state of California, sports betting not legalized yet, but you go on any of these apps now, you can get odds on knockouts and things and pair it with some other stuff. So I'm curious about this. Like you said, Volkanovski, that guy,
killer.
Yeah, he's an absolute animal.
Okay, so he is favored in the fight. It's actually dead even. It's a pick'em fight.
It's a pick'em.
Both of them minus 110 if you're betting on either of them. Total rounds is set at 3.5 is the where it's still negative. Over 4.5 is positive money. So you're looking at it's saying it's going to end between the third and fourth round.
Yeah, but knockout is not the chosen method of victory here.
Submission?
Decision.
So Volkanovski knockout, that's plus 300. Volkanovski by submission is 1,400. Topuria by decision 425. Topuria by KO 400.
Okay. Okay.
Jenna, what do you think?
Yeah. We'll start with Jenna.
I did not come here to hear sports.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Take a lap.
Wait, hold on. This is a sports talk show, Jenna.
Jenna, did you come here for the adjacency part of this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just drinking mezcal at 8 a.m. on a Friday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that.
Tony,
I
are
love
you
that.
sitting right next to Matt Damon tomorrow night?
I don't know. We'll see. Not, we'll have to.
Are you octagon side again?
I've done
You
that
and
once,
you and
but
Uncle Dana?
I'm not. We'll see.
No,
I'm not going to put any pressure on anybody. But,
Yeah.
But if you're listening,
it's been known to happen.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Jenna, do you watch any UFC or MMA, or is that completely distasteful?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. So
At all.
were you ever a boxing fan or any of that?
No, I don't like the violent sport. Like where they're running into each other.
Oh, this is
yeah.
perfect for you.
Yeah.
Wait, so football?
Wait, so John Fink,
Not
same
a big
thing?
football
Wait,
fan.
you're not.
I spent 24 years as a massage therapist. So whenever I see that stuff happen, I'm like, oh, I got to fix that.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. And then Jenna works in psychology, so she's like, oh my God, I have to fix that.
you know what I watched almost 2 hours of last night?
Which, by the way, why haven't I booked sessions with both of you?
Yeah, right. Is there a
You know
combo
what
deal?
kind of
Simultaneously.
I am a mess. Yeah, I could have John rubbing my back and my hammies and have Jenna be like, so tell me about your childhood. What led you to all this?
I watched nearly 2 hours of professional bass fishing last night.
What?
Yeah.
Who are you, bro?
I know.
I mean,
Wait, hold on.
No.
Did your mom die?
No, we need to do a segment on this.
Not the
That's a
Lady
sport.
Hawkeye's breaking records.
Listen,
but bass fishing.
bass fishing. And you know what is amazing is I keep going, how do these cameras get so far underwater? Where are they
I'll tell
finding
you
this?
what, Caitlin Clark is awesome, but have you seen Clark Johnson with the new rig he's using?
Hell yeah.
I will
I
say,
mean, they
those
were at
yeah.
Lake Minnetonka, and he was pulled in smallmouth by the boat.
Brought to you by Johnsonville Brats.
those boats, the way they fly around those lakes and go over the like marshy parts of the lakes, it's pretty damn cool.
Come on.
If there's one thing I want to do before I die is own a fan boat.
Yeah.
I mean, one of
And
those
crash it.
I mean, that goes without saying. Have you seen how I drive? All right.
He'd be racing it. I think that's what you'd be doing.
Yeah, no
Could
question.
you imagine a little Rosaluna on the deck of a fan boat
I
while
think
you're
that's
looking
illegal.
at gators?
Cool.
Why?
I will also say though, guys, there's one thing I'm not going to be doing this weekend, and
What's
that's watching That's watching bass fishing.
But when you watch the UFC fights, are going to be awesome.
Speaking of laps, Daytona 500 this weekend.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
God,
So-
that's football.
Yeah, we missed.
Okay, around the room real quick. Does this end in a knockout? Tony, start with you. You'll be there.
Absolutely.
Knockout
in less than 3.
less than 3.
Less than
Brandon.
3.
Into the knockout, John Fink.
I'm gonna say in 5.
Oh, and 5. Wow.
I'll split the difference and say 4.
Okay.
Round
Okay.
4
Wow.
knockout.
TD doesn't like blood. Richie.
Well, yes, get out. It
Yeah,
hurts me.
I think Volkanovski gets the win. I think knockout victory.
I was gonna say the upset for Ilya Topuria, but I don't think it's an upset anymore. I think it's even money, but I'm going with him. I think Volkanovski flies off a cliff.
Okay.
Should I be
Alright.
offended that Fletch didn't ask me?
Listen, yeah,
He went around the room.
And J-Riff, you eat portobello mushrooms, so
You can't talk about
moving
people
right
pitching
along.
each other.
Listen, guys.
You and John Schaefer go do a podcast
Guys.
about
John Schaefer eats fish. He's a fake vegan.
Guys.
He really is a
Wow.
fake vegan.
Call him out.
Fish is
Called him
meat.
out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fish is meat.
Listen,
Fish is meat.
Yeah,
guys,
it's fish meat.
when it comes to UFC, just every time I just hope both guys have fun.
You know what?
You know? Jen is on board with me.
Oh, wait. We didn't even try this drink. We have another
Do you
drink.
want to try
We
it
have
on the
another
other
drink?
side?
Okay.
I'm already almost done with it.
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
You been drinking it?
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
not mad about it.
Gone off the rails. All right, listen, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. It's a Bar Car Friday brought to you by Keg N Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. Brandon from Rosa Luna Mezcal is in studio. We got to taste the next cocktail that he's made for us. And then we got to play Duck, Duck, Goose. And we have enough people for Duck, Duck, Goose. We'll heads up, 7 up, and then Duck, Duck, Goose. That's next. It's a Bar Card Friday brought to you by Keg N Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. When we come back, bottom of the barrel. Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Bar Cart Friday, San Diego Sports 760. By the way, Keg N Bottle, Tony Kanja, a soldier, man. He had stitches at 1:30 in the morning last night after a basketball injury on his face, and he still made it in at 8 o'clock in the morning for a Bar Cart Friday.
A little slow.
No, dude.
Couldn't figure out where the glassware was. You know, a little head trauma. I'm like, oh yeah, I left it here at the office.
Hang on. I just realized John Fink's wearing a Mystery Science Theater 3000 shirt. Come on.
I'm so glad you like that. That makes me so happy.
That is one of my favorite, and I'm not kidding. Like growing up, some of my earliest memories were laughing along to the robot and the dude in the front seat.
You guys have a favorite episode?
I don't know if I have a favorite
like
episode.
A favorite genre.
I want to
sort of
say, I think they did Tremors. That was a funny episode. Oh yeah, get on the
Closer
mic.
to the mic, John.
Oh,
Closer to the mic.
sorry.
John, when John Fink stands up, he's literally 4.5 feet above the mic.
I'm sorry about that. I kind of forget sometimes.
What is the
Yeah,
show?
I do like the black and white ones, the 1950s.
Yeah.
I
like
like Francis skydivers is always a
Right. Any of the sci-fi stuff, but in black and white is fun for me. Fletch never heard of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh,
so good.
We
missed
gotta
that.
fix that.
Unsurprising.
Right.
Like you have. I
Uncultured
have.
swine.
Yeah,
Man.
The guy just he doesn't know what he doesn't know, and the problem is that column is getting longer by the day.
That's right.
We're here to educate
You know what he does know though?
What's that?
Rosaluna.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Wait a
yeah.
second. Are you? Yeah, that's a good pivot. I want to
That's a good pivot.
welcome back in Brandon, who we have completely ignored since the start of this segment. Now, Brandon, Brandon came in with Rosaluna Mezcal. This is incredible juice. It is available at keganbottle.com, $30 for our listeners. And I'll tell you what, that's a bargain because this is great stuff. We've tried 2 different types of Palomas. Brandon, what's up next, man?
This is the grand finale. This is the one that's made with fresh juice. So we got a little bit of lime, a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of sugar.
Okay.
And soda water to top it off. So we're basically making like a craft style grapefruit soda.
Okay.
Just like right now. And this
here.
is the grand finale to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more effort, but the flavor just
You get
explodes.
the
Like it's
tartness of the grapefruit, the sweetness, dude.
Yeah.
For
I think-
$30 for a bottle of
Yeah.
Rosaluna. I mean, why aren't you going over to Keg N Bottle and picking up a couple?
It kind of
You
feels like the easiest yes all week long, and I'm easy.
I feel like the Real Housewives of Orange County drink this for breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, without doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. This is now like there's no more mimosas or Bloody Marys for me. It's Palomas from now on with Rosaluna. Brandon, thank you so much today, man.
Thank you, guys.
This has been a blast.
Yeah.
We got bottom of the barrel. We got a couple of stories that we've literally scraped the bottom of the barrel for, and these are usually my favorites. So TD, why don't you take us to it?
It's Friday. It's time to scrape the bottom of the barrel for the final stories of the week.
I think that sums it up.
Tony Kanja, you don't have any Keg N Bottles in Tennessee, right?
None in Tennessee.
Okay,
Thank
well,
God.
check it out. There's a bill they're trying to pass, SB 2636. This is how the bill reads. Prohibits a beer permittee from selling at retail, refrigerated, or cold beer. They don't want convenience stores or grocery stores to sell cold beer.
What?
Yeah, so what they're saying is if they sell warm beer, people won't drink it in the car.
Dude, only in Tennessee would they'd be like, here's a problem. We got too many people drinking cold beers on the way home.
Right.
No,
Right.
What the hell? Dude, and by the way, convenience stores selling beers, I mean, sometimes you need toenail clippers and Coors Light.
Yes, 1,000,000% cold Coors Light.
Makes no sense, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one? Giselle Bundchen,
Yeah.
who we were told was not dating her jujitsu trainer.
Go on.
Now they're deeply in love. Okay.
Aww.
Yeah. They were seen kissing on Valentine's Day in Miami.
Tongue or no tongue?
I don't know the.
How does Tom Brady feel about it?
See, this is the thing. This is the thing. I love love. And I remember when I was a drafted rookie in New England, she was pregnant with their first child together.
Uh-huh.
And I remember meeting her and seeing how they canoodled together, her and Tom Brady. And I thought to myself, That is a marriage that's going to last forever.
It didn't.
Here,
And she runs off with the jujitsu teacher. Are you kidding me?
By the way, I don't know what you guys did on Valentine's Day, but Giselle and her jujitsu trainer, they just went horseback riding through town. Like literally through town, Brandon.
I'm pretty sure that's Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
We just went down to, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Rodeo Drive. No. This is Rodeo. And you need to get out of this Chanel store on that horse.
Well, look, she's got a painted horse and she's got painted on jeans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been there. Brandon, thank you so much for being here. Tony Conja, for last week, for this week, for everything you've done for this show. We love you. Thank you for being part of the family, brother. We owe you so much.
No
Thank you to J. Riff and Jenna, I guess, for stopping by and talking about Portobello mushrooms.
Jenna, for sure.
Jenna, yes, we love
She's
Jenna.
gonna help us with she's gonna help us with our mentals.
J-Riff, when are you gonna put a
You
ring
gotta
on
count,
it, buddy?
You gotta count
Oh,
your chickens.
on
Just
air.
like-
Yeah, we answered.
When are you gonna put a ring on this thing?
Oh, did you see that side?
What?
Wait,
I gotta tie my shoe.
You son of a! I can't believe I thought it was about to.
I thought this was happening on a Bar Cart Friday.
Big one for the Aztecs tonight. Make sure you're listening right here starting at 6 o'clock. Get out to Viejas Arena early tonight. They got a courtyard activation, and it's the blackout game, so wear your black.
And go get some Rosaluna Keg N Bottle, $30 on sale right now.
Last thing, did we give away the Aztecs tickets?
Give them away right now.
No, wait.
877.
Oh, Aztecs?
767-4760. If you want to win the Aztecs tickets tonight, 858 is when you call in. 877-767-4760. Caller number 5 gets the tickets. Go support the Aztecs tonight and wear black. Thank you to everybody. We'll see you next week.